Hello, welcome to another Sunday night here on BMBBH. This is Kev, and wow, I tell you the truth, this space is never gonna get boring. See you down there, Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power. Phil Brad was here earlier, and let's get to it. Name this particular broadcast, but that's none of my business. Yeah, because a lot of you are starting to make me believe that not being the most popular guy isn't such a bad thing. And yeah, that's I see what happens when people get around each other and one man is possibly doing better than the other, that's possibly doing better than the other and better than the other. Y'all want to flag each other's videos now. It's like, is that how we handle, I guess, having a little the power of, I guess, the power of fuckery? We include so many, horrible things that go along with that. We can't just be proud of the man sitting next to us. It always has to be this constant thing with us where we let our egos overtake us. And for those of you who have been paying attention, there have been quite a few channels that are within the space that were getting flagged for their broadcast. And that's just something that I just won't ever agree with or ever go along with. I mean, I get it if it's damaging to the reputation, if it's like something like doxing or putting someone's personal information out, with, yeah, that is doxing. I get it then, posting family members and such, posting addresses. I mean, but just on the merit of your content being criticized, I don't believe that you should do that. But hey, you know what? YouTube gives you the freedom to do um, what you want to do in those instances, and I just don't believe that they're right. I think that you should beat someone with their intellect rather than doing little hoe ass shit like that. So, I mean, but some people have different philosophies, and I mean, like, this is not to stand up for a particular YouTuber, content creator, or so-called quote unquote member of the Black Manosphere. Is just to state that we need to stay out of each other's way. I mean, if the audience decide that this guy's going to be bigger and more popular, then so be it. And it's and we always have the confidence in ourselves to do the right thing, but some of us out there, we just don't want to do that. So listen up, man. Look, I appreciate guys in the space that haven't put me in the middle of certain things and certain conflicts and certain skirmishes. I would have, I will pop up in certain people's chats, and the sentiment seems to be leaning always in one direction, and sometimes the sentiment is in the other direction. So listen, look, thanks for making me thanks for not putting me in the middle of a lot of that stuff. You know, it's just that putting me in situations that I don't choose to be in, just because your favorite content creator might be critical of another content creator. What I would like to do for this particular platform from here on out, even though I do have certain views and I do have certain positions that I take, I would like this platform to be more of a neutral ground. Um, I would say that as far as people coming into the space and people leaving the space, that's fine, but it's really a space that is not something that you can just really leave. I mean, you can disassociate yourself with the space by just basically staying in your own lane, but it's not something that I don't believe you can really just leave. So, I mean, so for anyone who says that, oh, I'm leaving the space or I'm no longer acknowledging the space, that's fine. You people can do whatever they want to do, because is always going to be the strength of your platform. It's not going to be the strength of the space. The strength of your platform is going to determine whether you are going to remain in a certain spot or not. And shoot. And it just seems to me like the people who have a little bit more strength, they probably just can't handle it at this point in time. It's a really sad thing to see. So, uh, see who's in this. See who's in this chat. Say I said I saw Phil Brad, Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power, Marco Ross, Krabs, Kev Krabs, Indigenous TV Who Docs too. No, what I was saying was when people dox you and when people put your personal information out there and it's some things that you don't really want people to know, like say for instance your home address, then maybe there's the call to flag then. Otherwise I wouldn't flag anybody based on the criticism of my content. I would say if someone were to make a video breaking down one of my broadcasts and was extra critical of it, I wouldn't flag that person. I would probably, as far as I would go, is to merely explain myself and maybe did a critique on that content creator as well. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, obviously, around here. But as far as flagging them just to flag them, oh, like them one of them you hurt my feelings flags, I wouldn't do that. That's to me, that's whole shit. Yeah, hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. They want to be the big of the big. Um, part of that is the HNIC complex that's around here. It's like I don't know, man. It seems like once somebody get like over 60, 70 people watching, and all of a sudden they're the center of the controversy. Like all of a sudden they're in the eye of the storm. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But it is what it is, man. Everybody wants to have this demeasuring contest of what narrative should dominate the space as opposed to what narrative should not be dominating the space. And my position is there's just a lane for all of it. What's going on, RPM, Infantry Skills, Raven Knight, Long Live, Indigenous TV. There are certain guys in the space that are so respected they avoid beef. Black Ram, you, LAR, and very few others. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to be in a beef with anyone. I mean, I can have my opinions on people, and like I said, if I get upset, not really so much upset if I disagree with something that someone have said, I can put it in the form of a video. It's not anything that I have to spend a long time on. And then hopefully I can give the most intellectual presentation about it that I can. I can be petty as well, but what would that do at the end of the day? Uh, so I've never heard of anyone going at LAR or Black Ram in a major way. The respect is universal across the space. Kev, you're fast becoming someone people respect across the board, consistent. Yeah, I appreciate that, and the reason is because I believe is because like I'm more of a calm guy. I don't do broadcasts where I'm just constantly yelling and oh man, we fix his avatar real quick. I use his avatar in the Black Dimension, but anybody who knows about Afro Samurai knows that he's probably one of the most gangster motherfuckers out there as far as cartoon world. But you know, is check out the Black Dimension, our entertainment channel here over the Habitual Line Steppers, and we just got through doing a review on the Batman. Now, a lot of people felt certain way about the Batman, but I believe it's one of the best Batman films out there. It's probably not going to get a really good chance, but just because of Robert Pattinson. But that's the same way I felt. But I felt like I watched a great film once I was finished with it, and that's all that mattered to me. So Yeah, man. It just I don't these I don't understand like who loves drama more these days. Is it the women or is it the men? Like, the women stay in drama. We expect that from them, and it's a sad thing, and it's not a great thing that we expect that from them. But I don't know. As far as working with men, being able to work, know what it's like to work with a group of mature men, and I'm not so much talking about the space. I'm just talking about my past experiences. Is I don't see how a group of men who we have all these intelligent, well studied, well read minds in this space, and we just can't seem to ever get it together. It's disappointing for a black man such as myself to see. People talking about like at first. Let me put it to you like this. At first, I didn't like the fact that people were talking about the space in particular. When I say the space, I say the black manosphere. Um, I didn't like it because I just believe that when we looked at something that was black, we looked at it as being lesser, and that's something that I still do believe that we as a people we have a problem with. We look at something black as if it were going to Walmart, but we look at other groups, such as whites, such as Asians. We look at that as if we're going to Bloomingdale's or Rodeo Drive or some shit like that. We always looked at everyone's ice as always colder, not just white men, everyone else. And then we're giving everybody else out of the black community lukewarm drinks. But it's but as I observe more and more, is just that we can't look at this space as perfect. I would say because it doesn't have perfect people. It has people who are always constantly butting heads for no good reason. Like I said, if we are this reasonably intelligent group of guys, why is it always coming down to what's messier and what's more dramatic is as winning the day rather than a group of common sense guys that wants to get shit done, whether it's to entertain you or to inform you or to do both. Why is that so hard for a supposedly reasonably intelligent group of men? Why is that so hard for us to get that accomplished? So again, I thank people who have been constantly tuning into these broadcasts, you know, to thank you for not putting me in the middle of that crap. If this is what it takes to be popular, if this is what it takes to be, in the center of everything, to get the views, to get the super chats, if that's what it takes, then I'm just gonna continue to try to find another way to do it. I just can't see myself being that dramatic a guy. And you guys in the chat can let me know if that's not going to work. Kev, you need to be a bit more dramatic. Kev, you need to be a bit more in the middle of this stupid mess. You know, you know. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. Said that there are dudes in here. Dudes these days gossip like broads. I mean, I learned that working on jobs with other black men. How gossipy they can be, especially in the presence of women. Like just trying to make, like I said, just trying to make themselves look like they got the biggest dick in the room, like they Lori Lightfoot or some shit like that. I mean, it's just it's the crap that I mean, you would think that we be on some man shit, but then it's just like, like I said, something happened like everybody go to a party. The next morning, you got the dudes talking more than the women about what happened and who supposedly is messing with who. And I mean, it's something that I've never liked about, the fact that guys would actually do that. Some shit that we would always say we expect from the females. Rael's in the building. What's going on? What is he said something? He said the mistake that is made is that people assume they are dealing with men based on gender, but the masculinity is psych, not biology. Do it addresses feminine, not masculine, regardless of gender. He also says, so when you see these dudes talk their talking points is no different than the mean girl conversations, call a spade a spade. Indigenous TV says, I still can't support the Black Manosphere because to me it's a complete joke now. But certain content creators I'm always going to support just as standalone YouTubers. Let me expand on that a little bit. Everybody should have come in as standalone YouTubers, based on the kind of contents and the messages that they want to push. Um, I when I first came here, like I said, I came here to do news. I came here to be very smug with simps because I believe that simps are counterproductive. But then when you start messing with simps, then it goes back to that little thing that we like to call the gender war. So look at the news stories and look at certain things that arise as far as what goes viral as to offer a counterpoint point to the narratives that are being pushed. If we did it that way, if we stood on our own content instead of standing on a space, then the space would automatically come together. But, it's the problem I believe with the space is that the space is being called a space a little bit too much. And too many people focus on the element of the space, the space, the space. Once they do that, the people who focus on the element of it being the space, the space, the space, and for them to spew the rhetoric that they spew, then all of a sudden the space becomes representative of the rhetoric that the guy who pushes the space uh, does. Like, say for instance, like if someone says the space, the space, the space, but the next thing out their mouth is bitches ain't shit, bitches ain't shit, bitches ain't shit, or let's get these bitches better or get more bitches better, then people are going to start to believe that it's a bitch centered space once they hear the space rhetoric and the bitches ain't shit rhetoric all into one, because that is what pushes the knee jerk reaction to happen. People don't like you got to understand about a lot of us. A lot of guys are still pretty much very, even though I don't like to use the pharmacy concept because that's what it is now, you have to understand that a lot of people are still in that blue pill stage. Even some guys claiming red pill are still in that blue pill stage, you know. Now, whether you agree with red pill or blue pill or not, the context that I use is red pill, you get it, blue pill, you don't. I don't I don't carry the words red pill in my back pocket like it's supposed to be used as some kind of shield to protect me from the bullshit or to not be seen as someone who has some whack ass points of view, because I believe that I am a man that is not perfect. I'm not perfect in any way. I just give my points of view just like you guys give your points of view, and I may not agree I may not agree, or I may agree with what you push as far as your messages are concerned. But it is like this: we can't always get throw ourselves into a tizzy every time someone disagrees with us. This is why the people say stuff like this space is a joke, because of the fact that there are too many people who are looked at as bigger, more content creators who are more representative of the space, This is why they look at the space like this because I'm sorry, a lot of bigger, more prominent content creators do kind of throw themselves into a tizzy every time someone disagrees. Say, for instance, if someone just was like, "Hey, Kev, you sound stupid," blah blah blah. Why are you saying this or why are you pushing this message? I don't expect the first reaction to be is for a moderator to fly in and time that person out or to block them from the channel. Maybe they're saying it for good reason. You know, some content creators that are older than us or around our age group, they'll get a comment that pushes back against the narrative that they're pushing, and then they throw this fit, try to humiliate the guy or time the guy out. I don't believe in that. I don't. Why would I why why would I do that? Why would I time you out just because you disagree with me? Why would I try to humiliate you? Why do I try to call you names and such? Like when I do go into certain chats and I do watch certain content creators, a lot of that does go on. A lot of content creators do talk down on the people that watch them, and that's not cool. But I would say this for a lot of those content creators, that's what attracts their audience, the fact that they're so harsh and so negative. K Dot, what's going on? Said black men being brutally honest. A black woman divester said an oppressed man SMH. What do you think of that? And where do you see divestors 10, 20 years from now? Um, it's a movement that's killing itself. I would say it's a the divester movement is a bad reaction to certain manosphere content creators and certain black male content creators. Like, let me give you a very prominent example, Tommy Sotomayor. Like, remember how everything bad that happened in the social media spaces, everything negative that black men said, they always pinned it on Tommy Sotomayor. Now it's Kevin Samuels. They're always like, this is why I believe that the divestors were here before, but with the pink pill and people like Chrissy and Paris Milan, which Paris Milan blames black men for uh, Asia Maynard's death when it was strictly her choice to date a white man. And I mean, like, she ended up dead behind that white man. But this one thing that I don't like about the divestors is they never focus on that white boy that kills them or the white boy that beats them up, like Chad Wheeler. That black woman divester crap, the only way that can succeed for real is that all of them can somehow manage to get a white man. And I already said what I said about the divestors. They can't do the content without black men. They're always talking about black men are oppressed, that black men are weak, that black men are conquered, but they can't do their content without mentioning black men. So, I mean, the divested crap, there will always be some semblance of it there, but at the same time, it's not a movement. It's a movement that's doomed to fail. And you can quote me on that. Rael, seeing dudes operate like hating dudes in high school is comical to me. Jealousy is a weak bitch emotion. Seeing dudes jealous of other dudes is a foreign concept to me. Juan G's, what's going on? Chris Silverman, he said, I've seen more black women with white men in the last 2 years than the 34 prior years combined. Y'all haven't noticed this in public recently. I've actually noticed it. I've noticed it, and it like I've noticed some soul sisters, like supposed soul sister archetype. I mean, very pretty, very, they smell good. They got afros, they rocking their natural hair, but they got the white guy with them. And I mean, like, that's okay. I mean, they can do what they want to do, but whatever results they get from that, I just will say that it's not the black man's fault. it's, I'm starting to treat it as if it's a none of my business situation. You know, I could talk about how they believe that white dudes are better, and I was like, no, they're not really all that much better. The fact of the matter is, a lot of these divestors believe that white men treat them better is because they're more feminine and agreeable with them. And that's something that does happen. Like, if you treat someone good, you're going to get a good reaction. You treat somebody bad, you're going to get a bad reaction. If you're sitting up here trying to be argumentative and adversarial toward a black man, guess what? That man is going to become your adversary. Now, some of these men just they just believe in leaving crazy bitches alone altogether. you know, and then you start having this talk about, a lot of these black dudes that we say that we're so tired of hearing them saying that, white women are better. We'll tell those dudes to go get a white woman. Just like I'll be telling these black divestors that, keep saying shit about black men, go get you a white man. Ain't nobody stopping you. So, you know, so see, many black chicks run to B1 pro blackness to cleanse themselves of white people. Yeah, Indigenous TV, he says, Chris, black men need to start focusing on the women we deal with in our personal lives. The whole of black women are not my concern. Not our women, not our problem. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, my concern is if I'm going to talk about the behavior of women, the concern will always be being the example for young girls growing up, like my daughter. You know, not making sure that I do what I can as a father to make sure that she doesn't pick up on certain behaviors. You know, Dollar Washer, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. As far as talking about the ain't shit behavior day in and day out, making it every broadcast, that's something I can't do because then that'll make me start to look bad, and then they'll make people believe that there's something personal going on. I'm not saying that other content creators should take the route I take, but I'm just giving you the belief of what I think it looks like. So yeah, yeah. So like I said earlier when I started this broadcast, thanks for not thank you for not mixing me up. And if there's any content creator that is watching in the clouds, thank you for not mixing me up in y'all shit. I mean, if it's getting you views, if it's getting you money, the difference between me and other content creators is I'm not gonna throw a bitch fit because you're getting extra money for being messy or being negative toward any cause that we might be trying to champion around here. Outside of that, look, make your money. Be everybody's choice. Be everybody's favorite. It's all good. It's all good. So anyway, so what exactly is none of my business that happens in this space? Okay, if one content creator gets into it with another content creator, okay, say for instance, if it's a content creator that I rock with, Not necessarily a habitual line stepper, but if it's a content creator that I rock with and they get into it with someone, I'm probably gonna be indifferent to it, especially if it's between two grown men. Because it's like this. If Chris Silverman gets into it with K Doc down there in that chat, neither one of them should expect me to side with the other. I'll just let them handle it like men. This is it is what it is. That right there is none of my business. Not to say that the gentlemen aren't going to disagree at some point, but that's just what it is. Now, if it's a habitual line stepper, say if someone gets into it with the Roger Report, whether the Roger Report is somewhat wrong or not, I'm probably likely whatever issue I have with Roger, I'm gonna say it behind the scenes. But I do believe in the united front. If it's a habitual line stepper, then I'm more than likely gonna side with that person. And I'm just saying it right here because I don't want any confusion if that does happen. If Donnie gets into it with someone and Donnie is 3/4 of the way right, I'm gonna discuss that 1/4 wrong with him behind the scenes. But I'm going to support that 3/4 publicly, and I would expect any of you to do that for your brethren. Any of you. It ain't going to be what's going on, Chaos Rain. It's not going to be. It's not going to be me trying to pacify the other side. I'll say it like that. Chris Silverman. Chris Silverman. He said it's hilarious now you're seeing overweight white dudes with black girls now. Now I've seen that. I've seen that. This whole in shape, uh, jawline white dudes that they be talking about and trying to show you pictures of with black girls, that ain't always happening. But you know, but what it boils down to at the end of the day is love is love. Cam Rob, what's going on? Rael, do you think ghetto gaggers is black women dating out? No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah, and we often use ghetto gaggers as a talking point, especially on platforms such as Facebook. Yeah, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If I believe that black men were going to fail ultimately, I wouldn't be up here trying. I mean, I wouldn't be up here trying to push it the other way. I wouldn't. I wouldn't in the least. I wouldn't in the least be up here. If I had given up hope on all black men, I wouldn't be up here. I wouldn't be in. I wouldn't be on YouTube. I wouldn't be on social media. Period. If I had given up hope on black men, because there are a group of black men out there, and I'm not saying that it's the black manosphere, but it's a group. It's a collective of black men out there that want to see things happen, that want to see things move forward for us as black men. And you know what? We should be giving support and push to those guys. I'm not going to say that there are particular content creators, but there are particular content creators that can explain things a lot better than I can. It's just that, I'm not saying go to them. Well, I would love for you to watch me instead, but look, guys, look, um, let me put it to you like this: if you are over the age of 21, you have the chance to have a brain. You have the chance to have a brain. Period. Yeah, so let me check out some real quick. Check out some real quick. Because I got about 30 in here watching. See if all of you press the like button. If you haven't, please hit that like. Yeah, 17 likes. I got 29 watching. Go ahead, hit that like button. Likes are for free. Likes are for free. Once she goes white, she can't come back. I don't know now. Like a lot of these girls, a lot of these women that date out that will date white men, like I don't think brothers would mind having them back. I really don't. And there's a huge reason for that. This may not be the reason every time. There's always a simp. There is always a simp. Tell you something, shout out to the Logic Spear. Uh, he was showing a clip off the Lapeef network. I be calling him LaBeef because it sounds funny. And it was this guy named Chicago Rilla. I guess Melanie King was giving this impassionate speech. Sounded a bit disingenuous to me, but this dude was asking her, "What's your cash app? What's your cash app?" He was like, "What's your cash app? What's your cash app?" Like, and okay, fellas, you can do whatever you want to with your money. I'm not saying not. I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying don't spend your money on these women or whatever. You can do whatever you want to. But let me tell you something. If you're trying to get these females to see reason, guys like that will always be a hindrance in that progress. And unfortunately, there are many guys like that that are saying, "What's your cash app? What's your cash app? What's your cash app?" I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, but I was like, "Dude, you making us look bad. You making us older black men look bad." Question: Is Brad a simp? Is Brad a simp? It's like I thought I answered that question for you one time. I mean, nah, I mean, your I noticed your last name is Brad, so I would say in your case, no. But is Brad usually a simp? Probably. However, it said LMAO Kev, I saw it too. Mr. Logic was trying to give her money too. And Disney TV said, stop taking black women back after they've been with white men. Tell you, man, there's always a simp. There's always a simp. Uriel says, white males are the biggest simps out here. They empowered these broads in the first place. Yeah, well, you can start with Steven Spielberg on that one. Yeah. K Dot says that's the problem. Brothers should have standards by not taking them back, just like white men when they don't take white women back. Yeah, that is the truth. Now, you mentioned ghetto gaggers earlier, um, but let's talk about the porn industry for a second. A lot of those white female porn stars do not sleep with black men, just based on the fact that it would lower their value if they did. So if y'all talking about those kinds of standards, I do understand like that black men really don't do this enough to the female populace that we don't have standards enough to put these women in check, which is almost impossible at this point because of the simp nation that we are dealing with. But they like a female. A lot of these black females, they can get slutted out by white men, and then there's still some black man there to rescue them and to try to sweep them off their feet. Hey, look. I know, man. We don't care, Kev. I know, man. Look, I'm just trying to answer the chat a little bit. I mean, but we don't care as in what? We don't care about them hoes after they've been slutted out by white men or what? Say indigenous TV, a lot of these dudes want to throw in their Jack Slade jacket and go after white men who sleep with black women like he's Mr. Big. Hey, you know what though? I'll say to each his own. I don't care about them coming back to the table. If they want to go and sleep with white men, if they want to sleep with Asian men, that's fine with me. I don't care about them coming back to the table. I don't. I mean, I don't care about them being examples for my kid if they're going to go. Just like we say with a lot of these brothers that claim that they want to lead the so-called quote unquote community. Just go. Just go. Is just go. Just go. If the divestors want to leave, just go. Those are women that I have no intention of ever having to sit at any kind of table with me to discuss anything. Would I sit at a table with Chrissy and try to discuss things that are going on within black people? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't care one goddamn bit. I'd be like, stay over there. Dollar wash. To be objective, we need feminism. We need feminism to create a free marketplace. You need chaos to drive capitalism. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, unfortunately. However, it says, thankfully, I came across an era where you could have sex in the club and social media wasn't booming. Smash a lot and makes it significantly easier to check these broads. Mm. Yeah, social media really did a number on everyone's minds. That's why I say that if you're going to be an influencer, you need to be responsible for what you say. You need to stand on it like a ton of bricks. You need to stand on it because it's some of these influencers out here are they act like they don't even know they're influencers. Like they just speak off the cuff. They just speak off the cuff and expect no one to listen. Yeah, even if and no matter how many people that I have watching, I am very careful about what I say. I'm very careful about what I say to people. Let me see. Yep, got 19 likes. So if you're in the building and you haven't pressed like, hit that like button. Likes are for free. Shit. Yeah. It's a indigenous TV says black men gotta shed the hotep skin. It's okay to like non-black women. Really is okay. Yeah, yeah. Like who you like, bruh. Oh, K Dot says that black men being brutally honest, these divestors can't be helped. No, they can't. Like I said, a lot of these guys out here act like they want to bring these women to the table. They want to talk to them. You know, if they want to do that for their content, that's fine. But at the same time, I don't have any intention of bringing any of these women to the table. I don't. I don't. I don't care. They've already made their position clear. They've already stated that black men are conquered, black men are defeated. You know, it's like they have made their positions clear that they feel like black men are an enemy. And shoot, I'm just not going to do it. Don't care. Don't care about having them on this platform. Don't care about them being in the chat. Don't care about them being in the clouds. I just don't care. Rogan son, what's going on? Long live Rael. We can talk till we are blue in the face. Those who view the world from the bitch who raised them mindset, viewing the world as a victim means you will be victimized. Hmm. Yep. Got Rogish son in the building. As that Herbert Lewis said, I jumped the fence 30 years ago. No regrets. Okay. All right. All right, guys. It's been a long weekend. Like, I'm sorry that I really do apologize that I'm not speaking as with much energy. Yeah, just my wife skipped town for the weekend, and I had the daughter all weekend, and she's a handful. I tell you that much. But I wouldn't have it any other way. But that's why I ain't going last night. I was beat the fuck up. But let's see, Indigenous TV. Kev, black men are tragically race loyal. And to what result? We didn't focus enough on what kind of culture we wish to establish, all because of a damn color. Culture over color, not the reverse. Let's see. Hmm. Black men did not focus on black men when we entered corporate America. When we entered into certain stages, as far as what could have helped us move forward, we weren't. We were race loyal, meaning that we looked more out for the other people in our group more so than the progression of black men ourselves. And we can probably push that off on the previous generations or the men who made it before we did, as in they were more so looking out for black women than other black men. And here's where we are right now, a bunch of men that wanted to be the man instead of, excuse the breathing in the mic, um instead of helping other black men out so we can have a foothold in our communities, or whatever community that we were shooting for. Tad's exclusive to GOAT, revisionist history. You know what, dude? For someone who supposedly doesn't like me and likes the the shit that I stand for, or doesn't like the shit that I stand for, you sure be here a lot. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, hell, I hear it just like you hear, brother. So, yeah, so I dropped the link. Anyone wants to come up, you can come up, or I'll be ending this one in a few minutes. Son is hot rod, long live. Hmm. Yep. But the name of tonight's broadcast is, what did I name it? But that's none of my business. Here's the thing, y'all. I don't care about this. Like, I don't I don't care about this so-called. There he is. Yep, it's him too. What up, Taz? How you doing, man?
What up, though?
What's going on? Is there a certain is there some things you would like to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask though, like, because you said black men didn't help, focusing on each other. So I was kind of just wondering, like, so do you agree then that they should have, and that over these years that the ball was dropped in regard to what black men should be doing to help other black men?
Yeah, yeah, I agree in many ways. That is true. I never take the position that black men are perfect. I've never taken that position. I've never completely sided with black men, but I've never completely gone against black men either. And from what I can see from your content, that you have a specific gripe with black men.
I mean, I have a specific gripe with some black men, right? Because every black man ain't doing the same thing. Every black man ain't equally as detrimental. So I would never just throw everybody in the box, but it's too many that it's too many that just watch and don't say shit. Way too many.
Watch it, don't say anything. Okay. Can you further elaborate on that? That there are too many black men that watch. What do you think black men should be watching?
Well,
Because
I mean, if I'm just going off of based on what you just said, if black men are watching other black men suffer and ain't lending a helping hand to help pick them up any, that's not a benefit to other black men. That actually hurts the black male image because black men who actually get in position and can help other black men, generally they have not over the years.
okay. Well,
What
yeah,
source
yeah.
are you
Because
talking about, dude? What source is this dude talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? I don't even know what you're talking about. You said find a source for something. I have no idea what you're talking about. But
well,
yeah,
Taz. Okay. So you did a broadcast that said that basically black men weren't helping the image of black men, and you used Lori Lightfoot saying that she has the biggest dick in Chicago or some shit like that as a way to expound upon that point. Can you explain that here?
yeah, that was just a short video, man. I feel like motherfuckers do a lot of crying and complaining about the LBGT shit, but that's a community that anytime something happens, they run to the stage and complain and cry. And so I feel like when the LGBTQ community does something to straight people, we had the same argument, but it's not presented that way. It kind of just get overlooked.
Okay. So Lori Lightfoot saying that she got the biggest dick in the room proves this.
Well,
That we don't do enough for for black men to not do enough for the black male image. Now,
right, because
look,
she shouldn't be saying that.
no, she shouldn't. She shouldn't. And isn't she in the process of suing her right now because of that?
Yeah, they gonna sue her. I mean, but
Yeah.
we no that can go either way. I'm saying in regard to the imagery though, why is a woman saying that?
Because women are protected.
I mean, if you say so,
Yeah, they are.
I think men fear saying anything about women. Like protect how?
Well,
How's she?
let me ask a better question. How can black men exact retribution when something is done that offends us or that causes us damage?
Okay, so for like that Lori Lightfoot situation, she in Chicago. So all these niggas in Chicago that got a voice, got a name. I just don't like. For me, it's using your voice and using your notoriety. So if you can use it to bring all these different drill rappers to the city or do all of this different shit that draws negative attention, you should be able to draw the same positive attention to something that would be meaningful. I just don't think we ever try to use this medium or any media to do that. It's just always for our promo purposes as opposed to using it to actually get something done.
And you know what the really sad thing about it is, and I always advocate for being involved in politics, not only because I run, but because of what you're saying. One of the ways that black men can use our collective voices is through the political process. Because if she thought that there was a chance of her not being reelected as mayor of Chicago, do you think she would actually speak?
Wouldn't have said that shit. I agree.
And that's where black men as a collective have to start. We saw it a little bit with the Trump election, where black men were edging that way towards voting for him. But that needs to be taken up on the local level. So
yeah, that's false. That's bullshit.
What do you mean?
Trump was not being supported by black men.
No. Hold on. What I'm saying is they were voting that way. Whether he was supporting black men or not is immaterial. What I'm saying is the power of the ballot.
He wasn't voting that way either. Mm-mm.
If you look at the way black men have voted for previous presidential elections in terms of the support of the Democratic candidate, they have.
Okay, but 88% of black men still supported the Democratic ticket because
That's what I'm saying.
just
We have
because
to start at the
Biden
local.
gets he's
Say
going
it
to
again,
get
bro.
Joe Biden was going to get the majority of the black vote anyway. So I mean, I just like it, the black males didn't go out and vote for Trump in super high numbers.
Correct. But what I'm saying is that type of mentality needs to be brought back to the local level. So it's like you're saying, when they invite all these rappers and people to Chicago or LA or New York or wherever it is, there needs to be a component on the back end of that that's subliminally putting it out there. Look, we need brothers to galvanize so we can start to put ourselves first because we've been conditioned to put everybody else before our own well-being, our own lives.
I agree with
So
that.
the culture pushes that narrative, whether it does it subliminally or actively. And if we can't win the active vote, if we can't win the active minds of people and thoughts, then we have to put it in the back door, similar to what they do when they do advertising, music, or any other thing that comes through, whether it's the black manosphere or pop culture or just mainstream media. We don't have anybody out there representing us, and it's like black men being brutally honest and saying we have to support the people that are pushing our agenda. So it doesn't matter whether it's Kevin Samuels, Obsidian, or anybody else that's out there. If they're pushing our narrative, we need to get behind them, whether it's with the dollar, with supports, with shares. It doesn't matter. We have to push that because they are pushing our narrative.
Yeah, that's the debate though, right there. Is if that's our narrative though. You know what I'm saying? That ain't our narrative. That's some people's narrative. I don't fuck with them niggas like that. Kevin Samuels, outright failure in life, though. He can't tell me shit. One thing he tell me to do is try to make a YouTube channel. Like,
Okay, so let me ask you this question. What is he a success at?
YouTube.
Anything else?
I don't know a lot about him outside of that. But
And that's
things I've dealt with him over the years, nah, bro. That's like I say, and for real, like I just think in a lot of ways, Kev used to be like Kev. Well, I call Kev Esther Kev, but Kevin Samuels used to be down to earth. He was always like lame and weird, but he used to be down to earth. See, now he's a little more, in his, he in his own self now. You know what I'm saying? He feeling himself, and so I don't think a lot of that is for black men. It's for his own personal gain.
Wait a minute. He got populations in the millions, man. You can't. I mean, is anybody else ready? Is anybody else ready to have populations in the millions? That shit was projected onto him. He wasn't ready for none of that. So the fact that if he didn't withstand it correctly, as someone thinks he should,
wasn't ready.
That ain't up on him, huh?
You said he wasn't ready.
Mentally ready
to
stay down to stay down to earth after you get 8 million motherfuckers rush you, and you know what I'm saying?
Because he already talked like that. I mean, maybe you wasn't familiar with his old rhetoric and shit, but he's already talking like that. Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think it I don't think he ever really cared about black men is the point. I don't think it's some switch or no shit like that. Niggas be out for their own personal gain, and it's not about how he can help or benefit black men.
Was he supposed to?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you don't think he was doing that in setting up his standard and actually setting up his group? You don't think that was an attempt at that?
No, absolutely. What standard? Angry Man standard? Obsidian standard?
Let me ask you a question.
Everything you hear Kevin Samuels say, I'll take you to the audio where that shit came from before he said it.
Okay, but again, he didn't choose the wave. Shit, the wave chose him.
I think he chose the wave. He chose to go.
If the shit would have hit you, you would have been spitting some red pill shit when the wave hit you, and then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I rejected it, man. I rejected it. Yeah, I rejected it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people in this space forget who came into this space and was promoted outside of the manosphere to just please come and join. Now I said fuck the manosphere and fuck all you whole ass niggas within. So like if it's that. If you can't stand on who you are, then you don't deserve that level of attention. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, it's just fucked up that you use these niggas to get on, and then when it's time to use that wave to help others get on, you don't. So I mean, like I say, that goes back to what Kevin Esther was saying earlier. Like if niggas ain't required to help other niggas, then we just gonna be here again forever. It'll be a forever circle.
Well, there was never a council that was established with the group. It was primarily something where cats used for venting, unfortunately.
Let me say this. Hold on, let me say this, man. First of all, this word is help.
Begging me to join the manosphere, nigga. You better sit your little weak ass down, bro.
This word help.
Niggas in my inbox begging me to join that weak ass shit.
This word help is overused.
Don't confuse me.
Kev, are you gonna mute him?
Everybody, hey, Rael got the floor. Talk one at a time, gentlemen.
This word help is I think one of the most overused words in the Black lexicon, because in order for somebody to actually help you, you got to be doing some shit first to get help on. Help doesn't mean a man doing something for you while you sit back and he do all the work and then you get the proceeds from all the work. What help means is it means that you're already doing something in the direction of forward progress. For example, if you go to school and you get a scholarship helps you navigate through college monetarily, because it puts some extra money in your pocket as a student, because normally when you're in college, it's going to be very hard for you to work full time, especially if you're going to school full time. So scholarships help subsidize money towards you to help it ease you through college when you're not able to work a full-time job and things like that. Grants work in the same kind of way. So this idea that grown men have to have somebody on YouTube or any other social media platform to push them in the right direction in terms of forward progress. First of all, before you even come to YouTube, you already need to be forward progressing anyway. That's your responsibility as a man. That's not social media's responsibility on any man, on any man that you don't even know personally. Because if that's the case, then these same types of people, they need to go back to their family members and look all their family members in the face and say, I'm related to you by blood. Y'all need to help me out because I'm trying to move forward. So if you're not going to do that to your own blood relatives, man, you can't come on social media expecting none of that type of shit from any kind of black men under the guise that he's supposed to just help a brother out because he a black man. Nah, that shit don't work like that. And especially that doesn't work like that in the business world. Mm-hmm. That does not work in the business world at all. Period and point blank. If you are not pulling your weight, you get nothing. Absolutely nothing. That is the game. That is the way it's always been. That's the way it's always been. No, in terms of a black male
image, men are lazy as fuck.
That's why they in terms of a black male image, hold on. In terms of a black male image,
lazy.
That will be projecting laziness if we took care of grown men and enabled them to keep being lazy. That doesn't support the black male image. Telling black men to step up and be doing something first actually helps black men's image, because then a man could come to you and say, okay, a man could come to you and say, I got this piece over here that I think if I put it with what you're doing, you could go even further with what you're doing because I'm adding a piece to what you're already doing. That's actually helping.
Yeah, like I say, I think you got me confused, because what I've always said is what you're saying, but me saying that led to bitch ass niggas like Indigenous TV who doesn't know shit about me misunderstanding me. See, I don't disagree with nothing you just said, but the problem is, since black men are not taking steps to be ready, taking steps to take care of their children, taking steps to come on YouTube and help other black men, none of that shit is happening. We can look across the landscape and see that. So in regard to the space, the reason why I'm saying that, because if you up, You're supposed to be the person that can help other people get there. This is a business. You do have a position where you can just bring people on, go to other people's platforms. You could support men in other ways and bring more attention to their channels if you was interested in helping men's voices get out there. That's the bottom line, though. Most of these men are operating for self. They're not operating for the collective to benefit. Because I'm not saying throw $500 in a nigga pocket. I'm saying throw a nigga 500 subs and see if he can make his own money with it.
But then you gotta take.
Hold on, Rogan. Let me get this right quick. You're familiar, Taz. You're familiar with the Black Brain Trust, right?
Absolutely.
You've been over there before.
Yeah.
And so since you've admitted that you've been on there, isn't the Black Brain Trust? Doesn't the Black Brain Trust do that? Isn't that what they do?
Yep. Yeah. The Black Brain Trust gets
now,
around.
Hold on. Now here's a real question for you. Hold on. Yeah. Now here's a question for you. Because this is going to be an explosive question.
Put some money on my trail longer than yours.
Hold on.
Put some money on my trail longer than anybody.
Hold on, Taz. I want you to hear this question. Does the space advertise the Black Brain Trust?
No, I do. I support the Black Brain Trust because when my wife had issues, that's who came and told her how to secure her shit. You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with Mike V and I fuck with Keep It Techie the long way. I drag a nigga over them too. So you know, it's like the space. No, the space does not promote the Black Brain Trust the way it should, because that would be the intellectual portion of the Black Manosphere that should have a lead role. Instead, niggas get a lead role to motherfuckers who just sit up here and say dumb shit. Now, I respect the Black Brain Trust, bro. That's who the Manosphere should be.
What is the chief factor of building that you think the space is lacking on?
Teamwork. Teamwork, bro. It's just that simple. Teamwork. It's what it's always been. Like
do you think black male collectivization should be based on blackness or value system?
Both, a mixture of both, because you can't just take everybody that's black and you can't take people with no values. So I mean, it's got to be like a, you know, it's got to be a little bit of both.
Which one should favor more, of the black part or the value part?
The value part.
Huh?
The value part. And the reason I say that is because, like, you have a person in the chat saying this is a man with no accomplishments. Okay, and so like my son graduated high school and college. My daughter graduated college. She's going back now, and she's going for this pageant that she was just telling me about, right? And so for me, I wear my children on my sleeves. A lot of other people run around and talk about, I got this, I got that, I bought this, I own that. Okay, what I'm most proud of in life is my children, is my mom and dad still being here. You know what I'm saying? And being good people and shit. And you know what I'm saying? Just doing righteous things myself. It's not necessarily about stunting on niggas for me. And a lot of niggas grow up like that and then stay in that mode where it's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I'm less about looking at me and see the bigger picture is, but I get thrown in with niggas that I don't fuck with. I get thrown beside niggas that ain't nothing like me. And so, yeah, for me, that's the issue, that I can't even come to somebody and have a conversation about the differences we might have. A lot of black men aren't intelligent. You know that if you talk to them.
Well, that's the thing. If you have a YouTube channel or any type of social media presence, that's your conduit right there to bring people together to discuss what differences you have.
Nobody. You seen working with white bitches, nigga. What do you mean?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I'm talking about these people in the chat. Like, come on the panel, bro.
Brother, ignore the chat. What is going on?
I don't
ignore the chat.
I'll never do that.
But see, this is why we get sidetracked, because we deal with things that are on the periphery. You're on the panel. have a discussion with the people who are on the panel, because those are the ones who are trying to exchange information with you. The people in the chat aren't your target. There's
they're gonna do it like that anyway. You know, I've said that to several people that have been on this panel. So I mean, I don't stop them. I also don't stop you. But yeah,
look at it like this.
But see, I agree with what Ivan Reed just said. He said, "I'm not helping nobody that's not helping themselves." I agree with that. That's one
right.
thing.
Okay, Donnie, what's going on, man? Just saw you stepped up here.
Oh yeah, nah, I'm a little confused, but I'm here for the conversation. What's popping?
Shoot, not too much, man. Just having we just having some guests.
What you going? What now? Wait, hold on, Donnie. Now why are you confused? Because you and Kev, we go back. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else here, they just know me as a YouTube dude, but I knew y'all niggas before I came on YouTube.
Well, I'm confused because I'm like, I hear you yelling at the crowd, at the audience, and I'm like, everybody like, what's going on? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
They fucking with me. I'm just talking shit back to them. They talking shit to me. I'm talking shit back. But it's because people don't know me though, dog. Like a lot of people just assume because I have a wife, because I deal with Cynthia, that I have an issue with men. Nah, dog. My issue with men is that we ain't putting our best foot forward as a group. And men don't want to step up and have that conversation because they so busy worried about other shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was talking to motherfuckers in the chat, because that's, they bringing up my wife and Cynthia, all this stupid shit. But in reality, black men need to deal with other black men on some of these issues, and they don't.
So what is other shit, right? So you said black men are looking at other shit. Like what?
Dating on here. Like on YouTube for sure. But then out in society, I would say just the everyday hustle and bustle of life that takes you away from the things that might be beneficial in regard to pushback.
Huh. Okay, so you feel as in dating. Okay, so let's target dating, because I feel like dating has to do with everyday life. Relationships are kind of what build nations. So how do you feel like focusing on dating is a problem for black men?
Because I'm of the belief that you're supposed to be getting your shit together before you out here chasing women and shit. That you ain't necessarily supposed to be. That's not really what you don't be out here leading with your dick. First thing you do, you know what I'm saying, is try to get yourself together, and women will come in and attach themselves to you. But a lot of niggas on here leading with, go get this woman, find a woman at this, woman that, woman this. And it's just too much leading with women as opposed to a man just putting himself in position where women are just, put themselves around him. Men aren't teaching other men to lead as men. They teaching them to go chase women.
Wait a minute, that's what cats are talking about every fucking day, cuz. Wait a minute.
Let's jump in.
What cats?
When you say men, that's the problem.
What cats you talking about though? I'm talking to Mansfield.
Hold on. We talk about men and not the boys. In order for us to develop the men in that paradigm, you have to get to the boys. And until we get to the boys, that's going to be trying to repair something that's broken. If we raise them up like that, because when I talk about when I was doing mentoring, I would talk to the boys, look, get your education, get your money right. Those women will come because you're successful. But if we're trying to teach men in their late teens, early 20s that they've already had the foundation set, and the foundation goes against that. So in order to fix that, you got to destroy that foundation. And until you destroy that foundation, you're going to be preaching against what somebody has already built upon, and it's not going to be effective.
You're trying to get them to change their value system of how they interact with the system and almost see it as enemious. But the thing is that's where they're trying to attach themselves most to, and not in a conquering ship. You got to get these young motherfuckers ready to conquer some shit, but that's taboo with most motherfuckers.
Conquer some shit?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
But see, but that's one of the biggest.
No.
That's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest issues is how black men view the world. Black men view the world as they're taught to. They're groomed by their moms to view the world as a place to fear instead of as a place to conquer. Even when you have black men who are mentors who try to come. Hold on. Even when you have black. Hold on. Even hold on. Even though you have I had a father, so I can't speak for anybody else up here, but I had a father.
Too.
So
Me too.
black men. But I can't speak for everybody else. They can speak for themselves. Okay, but black men. Even, hold on. Can I please finish? Can I please finish?
Now, bro.
Can I please finish, please? Can I please finish? Black men who mentor black boys for whatever reasons who didn't have a father around, they find out that they have a hard time instilling masculinity in black boys specifically because as they try to instill that masculinity in those boys, many times their mothers run interference. So for all the talk about black men helping unfortunate black boys who are in those positions, you can't turn around and then run the very interference in terms of establishing the masculinity. I talked about this before.
It's a weak one too.
I talked about. Well, that's fine. That's your opinion. But I've talked about this before, that when you look at traditional societies, one of the most important functions of the society was the men to take the boys away and do the rites of passage program. Because once you did the rites of passage program, it didn't matter if you was 12, 13, or 14. Once you went through the rites of passage, you were considered a man. And so you didn't belong to your mother anymore. You belonged to the group, and you operated in what was in the best interest of the group. Obviously, you had to be a man that was going to work hard and not be lazy, because your wife, or if you had wives, were going to need a man who was going to be able to produce resources. However, in Black America, is the complete opposite. The girls are taught to be strong. The girls are taught to be strong and not need a man. And boys are being taught to not be a man. And then even when men actually come around, we saw this with the Cam Newton situation, when a little young black dude tried to challenge Cam Newton. Instead of getting some advice from Cam Newton, he challenged Cam Newton. And so we see that a lot of times this is the female energy that they have from their mom for 18 plus years. And so when they finally get around men, and actually have to see, I grew up around men who when they say sit your ass down, you knew that shit was serious.
But you making
I'm not making excuses. I'm not making excuses. How is that making an excuse? How is that making an excuse? How is that making an excuse when I'm saying hold on.
And you pushing mentorship? Fuck a mentor, nigga. Why you need a mentor? Where's your dad? Where's your father?
Hold on, go.
How am I making excuses?
Go.
Hold on. How am I making excuses when I'm saying the men are stepping up?
Your daddy is failing you. That mentor shit is dead.
There is plenty of dudes. Did you live through the crack era? Plenty fathers died during the crack era, bro.
We ain't in the crack era.
Fathers died in the crack era. Plenty fathers went to jail and prison.
Ryan, let me come in for a second.
Hold on. Many fathers went to prison.
Oh, Lord.
Many fathers went to prison and were killed during the crack era. So that how is that an excuse? They're not there because they went to jail or they dead. That's not an excuse. That's a reality.
About the crack era. I'm talking about right now.
I'm talking about the crack era.
Ryan, let me jump in for a hot second. Go.
Like a lot of niggas still here though. It's a lot of niggas that died. Most of them niggas still alive, bro.
No, you're going against the grain and what is being discussed. And what Rael is telling you, the crack era and all of that is part of
the niggas that ain't raising their kids going against the grain. That's what's wrong with niggas.
But
you looking through the wrong lens.
So who isn't raising their kids then?
The niggas kids who need mentors.
Give me numbers because far too often.
What? Okay, so let me give you some numbers.
Hold on. Just give me 15 seconds. Let me lay this out.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the narrative that has been laid at black men's feet since we came out of slavery, is that we are deadbeats. We're not raising our kids. When the system makes it like that, So not only are we fighting the women, we're fighting the system as well.
No.
You can't take on two enemies simultaneously when one is hell bent on keeping you subverted.
Yeah, I won. And that's what I'm saying. Like when it came to me, my baby mom did a whole lot with my son, dog. Like in the end, dog, she had to tap out. I wasn't going. I'm not going to my son. I'm not no bitch.
You're saying when we talk about the collective, you can't revert back to me.
Right. I'm not. I'm continue if you shut up. So in regard to my experience, what I've seen is that when men fight for their children, they win. They get something out of it. Women in this regard are not infallible. They're not unbeatable. They're not untouchable. Men aren't doing enough to stay in their children's lives. I would never let a woman have my child and I don't have nothing to do with it. You can run off with my child and play games if you want to. I'm going to catch up with you eventually. My other baby mom tried that. Eventually, I'm going to catch up with you. It is what it is. And so when it comes down to saying these boys need their fathers. And if their fathers aren't required to raise them, because you said you want numbers. Okay, 80% of black men, when they hit my age, they have a child. 80% of 40-year-old, 45-year-old black men have a child. At 45, 80% of us have a child. That means by this age, you ain't supposed to be on here talking about chasing no women around and none of that silly shit no more. But what do you see? You see grown-ass men going on Fresh and Fit, talking to young-ass girls and all that shit. You don't see grown men moving in a grown man way in which he's showing the younger generation how to be.
Fresh and Fit is some sucker shit. That's not aligned with the black manosphere.
Right.
At all.
Who said it was aligned with the black manosphere? I'm telling you, that's where niggas go. That's where grown ass men like Tommy going. That's where niggas like
and men go to the strip club too, though. Men go to the strip club too.
Right, that's right. Again,
okay, that's their choice.
Again, failing their children.
Yeah, that's their choice.
Right. They choose to fail their children.
That's their choice.
Right.
Okay.
They choose to fail their children, and then someone like you will come behind and say mentor program, mentor.
And that's why, no. You ain't heard me say nothing like that. Everybody knows I ain't roll like that. I ain't even say nothing like that. That's what you said.
All right, so
I ain't say that out my mouth. I'll say
let's run this back.
What I'm saying. Go ahead, Don.
Oh, all right, let's run this back.
Don
So
has the floor. And look, let me call out the super chat first. Thank you, Gilgamy, for the super chat. Greetings to all. Long live the habitual line steppers. Long live, brother. Go ahead, Donnie.
All right. So the argument, Taz, the argument you're making is basically, are you saying that even though you're aware that women will play games in court, will fuck with the baby daddies, do slick shit, maybe run off with the kid, do things to prevent the father from being around their child, you're saying that ultimately it's a father's responsibility to go through all the bullshit and eventually triumph against the woman?
Absolutely. You ain't got no business having no baby with no woman if you ain't willing to do that. Absolutely.
And so let me get the clarification. What do you consider a triumph?
Just being able to have that relationship with your child that she was trying to prevent. You know what I'm saying? Being able to be there for your child, and your child know you was always there to the best of your ability, and your child know what you did in the whole none.
So perhaps let me give a layout a scenario from you, right? So you get with a woman ends up picking up and moving to another city. She's preventing you from seeing your child. You're trying to get in touch with that child. You may be able to get in touch with that child once a year on a birthday because that's all she'll allow. You feel like that's enough, even though the father is trying?
Trying is enough. Yeah, if you really trying, because that's
so. Do you think?
Most people ain't trying though. You know what I'm saying? Most motherfuckers they try.
So do you think that a young boy who maybe gets to see his father or hear from his father, should I say, once a year, has never really got to spend time with his father throughout his entire childhood, that he's going to be adequately prepared to be a man in this world and he's got no other male figures around him?
I think that's a ridiculous scenario. I think that rarely happens. I ain't gonna say it never happens, but most of the scenarios I've ever seen, women are playing games with niggas' kids, but they ain't keeping them away forever. Where you just talk to your kid once a year or no shit. They play games, but not games to the extent that you're not able to be in your child's life. And even with that, you could fix that through court. So you can take that motherfucker to court and fix that.
So, what do you feel like is an adequate amount of time? So, I gave you an extreme, right? But let's say your motherfucker gets a weekend here, a weekend there, or whatever the case is. What do you think is an adequate amount of time to spend with your child in order to mentor him into manhood?
That's some bullshit, bro. I don't think fatherhood is a weekend job. And so, I mean, I would say you need extended time, summer, holidays, all that type of shit. Like, because even if you don't have custody, you still gonna need time, not just no weekend type shit or no stopping through type shit.
Okay, fellas, y'all want to go from there?
And so here's the thing, though, right? These people that
it sounds like a lot of old talking points. I'm just sorry.
Well, no, the old talking points are the ones in which you would use making these suggestions about mentors and shit.
You made the suggestion that that mentoring. Hold on, you made the suggestion that mentoring is bad, but we're supposed to help grown men on.
I didn't say it was bad.
I mean, which one is it? I mean, you said you no. Yes, that's what you said.
Right, so you're not hearing me again. So I'll say it again.
You tried to make. You said men like you will come back. You said men like you will come back and mentor. You can't over talk me. You can't. That don't work with me, bro. That don't work. That don't work with me, bro. That don't work.
Can you hear me?
That don't work with me.
I don't want to argue with you, bro.
That don't work with me.
Right,
you're not arguing with me. I'm just going to get my point across.
Hey, fellas,
I'm going to get my point across.
I'm just trying to
I'm going to get my point across. Fellas, you're not going to overtalk me.
Hey, fellas, Rael, make your point. Taz, respond, please. Rael, make your point. Taz, respond.
His point. He made the point that
quick
when he said men like me were going to come back and mentor kids, which I didn't say. But his first talking point was that black men have an obligation to help other black men. And that was the whole point of what I was saying, based on what should it be based on? Should it be based on blackness, which is very nebulous at the moment, because anybody can be black at this moment, or should it be based on value? Because see, what a lot of black people don't want to have to acknowledge, if we took all the white people off the planet right now, and it was just us, it would still be some of us who would not fuck with other black men because of the values. It has nothing to do. This blackness is a racial trope to get black people distracted. When you take away that racial component and you have to deal specifically with class, and before any black person tries to make the argument that, oh, just because you got money, you got class. No, because the old saying used to be, just money can't buy you class. So class is not a distinction of money. It's a mindset. It's typically based around a family concept. So the reality of the situation is that a lot of times black people are expecting black men specifically to make all the type of sacrifices where nobody else in the group has to make any kind of sacrifices, particularly the black females. If you want black men to make sacrifices, cool. Black men been making sacrifices since slavery ended. The problem now is that black men are saying fuck that shit, and they're not going to make the sacrifices that they have been traditionally making because they don't feel like they're getting anything out of that deal.
So again, you're dumb, because when we start talking about sacrifices,
come on, man, you can't immediately shoot to calling people dumb.
I'm talking about I'm talking about sacrificing this idea because, for example, my whole point about mentoring is you don't need them if the fathers are there. As long as you're willing to provide mentors, you're not requiring men to be fathers. So there's I don't know where you got lost at, but that's the point I'm making. If you gonna have mentors on deck, fathers will continue to not be fathers. Where did you get confused in what I was saying?
Go. Let me ask you this question.
Hold on. I never suggested that mentors should take the place of fathers. I specifically said when it came to situations like, for example, the drug industry or the drug trade, where a lot of black men have been locked up, many for life, men who have been put in jail for serious crimes like murder. For murder, can I finish?
Were we not referring to
for crimes like murder? there is a vacuum there that exists. So when that vacuum has to be filled, so they're still going to need to be taught by some kind of male figure, and that shit a masculine female does not count. So when that vacuum needs to be filled, you're going to need certain types of men to be around. But if you got females, like for example the ones who ran off the Detroit 300, when you have those type of females running interference, then that makes black men look at the situation and be like, y'all niggas on y'all own.
Mm-hmm. Been on
See, this is the
black children been on their own. Black men ain't never did shit for their kids, man. That's I mean, like
that's
y'all niggas sound like motherfuckers.
You go right back to that, dog. That's a broken record.
Stepdaddies that exist in Black America.
Hey, let's do numbers.
As many stepdaddies that exist in Black
You a
America.
broken record, dude. What the fuck? We hear this shit for 40, 50 years, dog.
Hey, I
Come on,
want to
man.
ask Chaz a question.
You say
Yeah, I ain't broke. Yeah, I want to ask Chaz a
when you
question.
say
I ain't even broke
broken
yet.
record, but can you show me anything other than what I'm telling you? If most men have children, if most black men have children, why do people in your fucking chat right now put stupid ass statistics to Eric and Kevin Samuels? If most black men have
most
children.
black men don't.
Right, and so again, I'm telling you, like I've told the dumb niggas you got that shit from, it's not true. They gave you the statistics for 15-year-olds to 25-year-olds. That's who 51% childless. When you become a grown adult man, those numbers start chipping away. By the time you get to my age, 80% have children. They told you stats for young 15 to 25-year-olds. They told you that because they know you're dumb. They know you'll repeat it.
I'm aware of how the statistics can be used, but what you're ignoring is the culture. Black people, period, in this country have been reared with either stepfathers or mentors. Coming out of slavery, we were broken. That has never been repaired. So what you're saying runs up against the culture. You can't break that culture by yourself. And this is what you're telling people to do.
No, I'm telling you, hey fam, I'm acknowledging that you're broken. You won't acknowledge that I'm not.
Dude,
That's
you
the
sound
problem.
like you talking
You're
to some
broken.
bitches,
I got you.
dog. I understand you used to talking to bitches like that using.
No, fam, I'm talking to you, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, we ain't got to do that. We ain't got to do all
Chaz, let me ask you a question, though,
Look, see how mad you
We can't continue like this.
Chaz, please, can I talk like Chaz? I want to ask you a question.
Hey, relax. We can't continue like this. If people can't hear you, they can't understand what's going on. They looking and they just see a whole bunch of N-words in the chat going at it. I understand that y'all want to get your piece in, but you got to talk one at a time.
Thanks. Hey, let George get it for a second. George had a question. What's going on?
Chaz, I want to ask you this question, Chaz. How can you claim to be B1 or pro-black or black first or whatever, but at the same time, you support somebody who basically advocates things such as ethnic cleansing, eugenics, and makes video after video after video advocating for the extermination of black men?
Shit, show me the videos advocating for the extermination of black men. I got all day.
I can show you the videos where she specifically states that black women should not birth black babies.
Yeah, they shouldn't. She said they shouldn't birth black male babies.
Yeah, black male. That's eugenics.
Right. Get it right. Black male babies.
Okay, yeah, that's what she said. That's eugenics. So how can you be pro-black and support?
Why? So why should they? Because
we're broken.
Well, I mean, that's a legitimate question. It's all these niggas up here right now. You got your chance. I'm gonna play this back. Here's your chance. Tell me now why black women should birth your babies.
What you mean why they should?
Because that's murder, sir.
No,
but the question was for you. The question was directed towards you, Taz. How can you be pro-black and support that?
Look, because I don't give a fuck. Because you know why? I don't give a fuck what she say. I want to hear the pushback. I want to hear the intellectual conversation behind it. If it ain't no man capable of explaining why he want kids, why he need kids, if it's just murder, if they gonna kill our kids, nigga, that shit ain't gonna help nobody. We need an intellectual argument behind it, or you sound like you don't even care.
Okay,
Hey,
so
let me
like,
get this.
okay,
This
Let
ain't
me
just
get this.
content for me.
Wait a
Nigga, I
minute.
got kids.
Let me get this. Let me
My
get
kids
this
grown.
right here. How the fuck do you have an intellectual response to that? Saying that you're not even worth being given birth to. You cannot have an intellectual response to that shit.
You can't show your worth.
No, huh? Like, how does a black baby prove their worth?
Right. Well, no, the black men. I don't know why you
Dude,
laughing,
if
fam.
you got a problem with,
Let me talk to him right quick, fam. Let me talk to him.
No, let's do
We
this.
clear.
Let's do
So
this.
just so we clear. Just so we're clear, because I know your pussy hurt right now, but just so we clear.
If you got a problem with Kevin Samuels,
It's up
if you got
there.
a problem with Kevin Samuels, be a
Hey,
man.
can
Be a
Taz
man
answer my
and go
question? Because
take
I'm
that
trying
shit
to be
up with
respectful,
Kevin
Taz.
Samuels.
I'm trying to be respectful,
Don't
Taz.
bring Kevin
I want
Samuels
him to just
up
answer
we're
my
because
question.
you hating on him. And you
No,
want to
Y'all
try to
gotta
run that
remember
shit
we're
out.
live.
Be
Y'all
a
gotta
man.
remember we're live.
Be a man and go challenge him.
One at a
Go
time,
challenge
fellas.
him. Go
One at
challenge
a
him,
time,
bro.
fellas.
Don't come with that weak shit. That's some
One
whole
at
ass
a
shit.
time.
If you got a
Rael.
problem with Kevin Samuels, you go deal with him specifically.
Rael.
Because we ain't saying nothing about know your
Samuels.
worth over here. Ain't nobody
Rael.
said that over here.
Who got a problem with Kevin Samuels?
Hey, Rael.
You said know your worth.
Hey, bro.
That's one of his talking points.
Bro, we seen the videos. There's definitely
Bro, that's a
problem with
woman's
Kevin
talking point, bro. Women been saying that shit since I was a kid, bro. What do you mean?
Well, you brought it up. You brought it up.
Women been saying that since I was
We
a
ain't
kid.
saying it. But we didn't say it though. You said it though.
But you should be saying that to young men.
You said it. We didn't say it.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, why would you?
That
Hey,
trickery,
fam.
that shit don't work here.
Hey, fam, why
That
are you
trickery
doing
don't
that?
work here, bro. That shit
What
don't
don't
work
work
here,
here?
bro.
Taz, hold
That
up,
shit
Taz.
don't work here, bro.
Can we get an
I
answer
don't
to
even know
that
what you're
question?
talking about.
That shit don't work here, bro.
Taz, I
I don't
have
even know
a
what you're
That
question
talking
shit
about.
don't
for
work here,
you.
nigga. I know what the fuck
Since
you talking about,
fathers,
nigga.
since
That shit don't work
fathers
here.
are of
Right.
little to no value, then let me ask you: do you think that the black mother
I
is
didn't say
likely
that.
to
That
raise
didn't come from me.
her son? Hear me out. Is likely to
Right, but
raise
that
her
didn't come from
son
me though,
to
fam.
have a
You gotta ask me
commanding
something that I
presence
said.
at a young age?
But look, you gotta ask me something I said. I know how important the father's
You
role
just
is.
said black men are dumb. You just said
They
black
are.
men are dumb and all
They
this
are.
other shit.
That
So
don't
obviously,
diminish the role of a father.
okay. So let's take that pantheon. Let's say that none of us are fit to raise children, and the women have to raise the children. But being within this type of social structure, it would best behoove all black people to raise their sons to have a commanding presence at a young age. Do you think black women will do that as culture?
Do I think black women do what?
Nothing, nigga. You ain't even listening to
Yeah,
shit.
I mean,
Man,
I'm
come
listening.
on, cuz.
But for real, when you ask, and hey, fam, I know y'all niggas used to that shit, but when you ask me what I think black women do, fam, you lose me. I don't give a fuck about that. That's you niggas who worried about what some women
Get
do,
your
nigga.
Mark
Pussy ass nigga.
on,
How you not
Do
gonna
you
run?
hear me,
Can you
nigga?
answer that
You
question,
spineless
Mercy?
pussy ass
How you,
nigga.
hold on,
No, I
hold on,
want to
Don't
talk
say
to
this shit
Taz.
out
No,
of
because I
mine.
ain't gonna
Why
curse
can't
him. I ain't
believe
gonna be
Hold on, bro.
disrespectful. I just
I
want
can't
to talk
believe you
to
just
him.
asked me some shit about
They
what
be
I
the,
think
hold on,
women
bro.
should do, bro.
They be
Are
the,
you
hold on,
fucking
bro.
kidding me,
You
bro?
come
They
over
be the
here with
first
all
ones.
this
They be the
smoke for
first
us.
ones. No,
Fuck
hold
out
on,
of here.
Rogan. Hold on, Rogan.
I don't got no smoke
They
for
be the
you,
first
bro.
ones to talk about. They
Y'all got
be
smoke
the
for
first
me.
one to reference African. No. They be the first ones y'all be the first ones to reference African culture. But the saying that
Me,
no culture can rise
Taz,
higher than the moral position of the women
Taz
is an
references
African
African culture.
proverb. And they're
Yeah,
talking,
hey, homie,
and that's teaching culture.
you all
Hold on,
y'all so far off track,
hold on,
fam.
don't your boy got a school? Don't
This
your boy
shit
got a
crazy.
school?
Q Butter absolutely has a school. Absolutely. Do
And,
your
and
boy
so
got
he
a school?
doesn't infuse any
Do any of your
he
homeboy got a
doesn't infuse
school?
any. Hold on.
Do any of you
He doesn't
manosphere niggas
infuse
got a
any. Hold
school?
on, no. He
A
doesn't
bunch of
infuse
dick
any
riding ass
African
niggas
center
following niggas
principles
that
in his
ain't doing
school.
shit. Of
He
course, my
doesn't
nigga got a
he
school.
doesn't fuse any. Hold on, he doesn't fuse any African center principles in his school. That's what you're saying.
Of course, no, I'm saying I don't. I'm saying I don't. He
But you
does.
rock with.
I
But
don't.
you rock with him though.
Absolutely.
But you rock with him though, right?
A black man ain't
Okay,
got to
then. So
agree with me for me to
you
rock with
support
him.
it then. So
Do you
you
hear me?
support it
Hey,
then, bro. So
Black
hey
men
guys,
don't have to agree with me.
bro.
hey
Black
guys,
men
hey,
don't have to agree
Bro.
with me, bro.
Don't front, bro. Don't front, bro.
fellas, Rael,
Get the fuck out of
Black
here.
Rael.
men don't have to agree with me for me to rock with them. You're a weak bitch.
And
nigga.
black men don't have to work with you either.
No, they
Work
don't.
with you either.
Who said they do?
So what's the conversation?
Who said they do? What's the conversation for? Because when we ask about why black men are getting ahead, well, when a black man gets ahead, if he's not trying to pull other black men up, because the race conversation doesn't matter, you just diminished it. Well, then stop asking about black men. It's that simple. Change your name to me and being brutally honest. Nah, you want to be black when it's beneficial to you, but then you start coming back talking about class and all that other shit. I'm gonna drag you, nigga. What? You talking about class and all this other shit, but any other time you want to be a black man. You know how to lead with your blackness when it's time to be a victim ass bitch, but you don't want to lead with your blackness when it's time to be a father or when it's time to be a man in the community that stands for something or build something. You don't want to talk about black men.
You said no point. There's no point in mentoring, bro. So what you talking about community? You said there's no point in
community should need mentors. The fathers are there. I don't get what's funny. Like y'all don't. Do y'all even have kids? Does anybody have kids?
I want you to have that. I want you to have that same.
Does anybody have kids?
I want you to have that same.
Am I the only man here that have kids?
Same smoke. I want you to have the same smoke for the black women who got their kids.
I'm the only man here that has. I'm the only man here that has children.
Who leave their kids abandoned at hospitals and fire stations and get abortions. I want you to have the same smoke for them too. The same.
Do you do content on them or do I?
Same smoke.
Do you do content on them or do I?
Bro, I want you to have the same smoke.
Do you do content on them or do I?
Since you all about parenting, make sure you be the
Hey, tell your homeboys I talk about them too. I don't play.
Hey,
slow,
listen up, guys. Listen up, fellas. Let me read the super chat real quick. And George and Donnie, you go next. Black women should birth all babies, male or female, in a healthy marriage, but especially the male, simply because that's how we keep the black community going in this country.
That's your argument? Wow. Good luck with that one.
Okay, so
thanks for your support. Well, go ahead, George.
So basically what you're saying is if you got a group of men that's been conquered, that's basically been, as she puts it, the most. No. Listen. Let me answer the question. If you got a group of men, I'm asking you a question. If you got a group of people, if you got a group of men that's been conquered, if you got a group of men that's, as she puts it, the most failed group of men on the face of the planet, you believe that we should all be exterminated. You're not against that. You're not against church. Well, that's my problem with you, fool. You're not against that bitch. You a bitch ass nigga. I hate you.
What she say in regard to exterminating dumbass niggas? And in regards to black men, if you actually try and actually go out and do something, that like you shouldn't feel like she's talking to you. Like you know what I'm saying? It's crazy that men hear that shit and it just triggers them to the point where it's like she's talking directly to you. She don't know you, nigga.
Hey, well,
she ain't talking directly. Maybe she's talking directly to the fucking black race, and you say you pro-black, you support that bullshit because you a bitch ass whole ass nigga.
You said I'm pro-black. I don't give a fuck about you niggas.
Well, B1, whatever the fuck you is, nigga. You a little nigga. Your ass a little nigga to me, nigga. You a bitch.
A little nigga where?
I said you a little nigga compared to me, motherfucker. I hate niggas like you. All you do is kiss these hoes ass, you bitch.
No, bro, nobody know you nowhere, bro. But you like calling me names don't help you none. Weak ass nigga. You on here, man?
You's a weak little nigga. You got 170 pounds, bitch.
Here, bro, talking shit to me, bro. Listen to yourself.
Wow.
You mad at a woman talking shit to a man, bro. Listen to yourself.
This is wild.
Broken bitch. Y'all niggas talk wrong in the manosphere. You thought that you could somehow be mad at her but talk shit to Taz. Nigga, you don't know shit about Taz to talk shit to me. Go keep listening to her.
Hey, but Taz.
You ain't never heard me, nigga. You don't know my content, nigga. The fuck you mean? My sister got you bitch ass niggas, nigga. Fuck you.
All right, so listen, I got a question for you, Daz, and I know you're not that lady's mouthpiece or whatever, but does she give a reasoning? Does she give a legitimate reasoning for why she wants to abort black male babies? Because I've never heard her say that. I've heard. Well, I take that back. I have heard her, but I've only heard that soundbite.
Bro, listen. The conversation was she's not going to birth a black male. Then it went on to motherfuckers push that out and said she said abort him. So she said, I didn't say that. She did a whole live stream said I didn't say that, but fuck it, I stand on it. So like I say, motherfuckers say what they want to say, right? And so now you got somebody in the chat insulting my son, right? So here we go again. This is how this space is. You take some shit a bitch told some motherfuckers about my son, that was a fucking lie, and tell other men that shit. Meanwhile, my son goes on to college, plays football, does everything he's supposed to do as a young 20-year-old, but in these manosphere spaces, they still call my son what the bitch tried to do. Man, y'all niggas weak, bruh. And because men like that feel comfortable in your space, coming here talking about my son, you should understand my point about black men. Look in the chat right now. Why would a man be down there talking about my son? Why would a man be down there talking about my son, my nigga?
So let me ask you this.
Okay, my nigga, why would a man be down there spreading rumors about my son?
Let me say this.
Bad chat member.
Why would a man be up here starting rumors that a bitch started because she couldn't fade me though, my nigga?
Let me say, if it cannot be confirmed, or verified,
nigga, you confirm it. He got my name. Go look it up in every state, every city, nigga. The shit was a fucking lie.
Taz.
Bro, because now you talking about my fucking son in a space where bitch ass niggas about being mental.
Hey, I get that. I get that.
So why do you keep coming to a space if they're gonna keep attacking your
so I can keep exposing you niggas, space, bro? So I can keep exposing you.
Well, don't complain about it. Don't complain about it, bro.
Keep exposing you.
Don't complain about it.
So I keep exposing you to the women that don't want to give birth to you, motherfuckers.
People. Hold on, everybody slow down. So listen, I did see the chat. I just seen the chat. Listen, indigenous. I get where you feel. You know, you wanted to say that. As an individual up here who's also been falsely accused, let's just go ahead and stay away from that because I've also been accused like that, right? And when people make those accusations, those are the things that stick. I'm grown as hell. I'm over it at this point. But I've talked about it. I've been falsely accused. That's some shit that if he went through the judicial system or whatever the case was, and that shit
on here for that shit, bro.
That shit didn't go through, then you can't really just call somebody that, right? So let's just stay away from that, at least for this conversation. And then, we push forward. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk about that. And again, I'm not saying that you that person's representative, but if they made a statement of don't have black male babies, right? The only way that you know that it's a black male baby is at a certain point during the gestation period. The baby's already here. So if you're not having this type of baby, it's an abortion at that point, right? You can't go back in time and take the pill. You know what I mean? The baby, the baby's a male. How are you not having the baby? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think people put more energy into it than she did. Definitely than I did.
But you don't feel like that, even as a statement, it's just wrong?
No. I mean, as a statement, I've heard worse. I mean, statements don't mean shit to be on this motherfucker that much no more, bro. Like,
but why sidestep what he's bringing to you? When you do that, you step over the question.
There's nothing to step over, bro. I already told you I don't give a fuck about that shit. I mean, how many different ways can I say it? That shit didn't bother you. That's fine. Okay. I don't care. I have children. Nigga, I'm not the one out here seeking children. My daughter says she don't want to have kids because niggas dumb. My daughter that graduated at the top of her class, still in school, top of her class. Yeah, she said black men are dumb. She don't want to have kids. Okay. She don't want to get married. She don't want to do none of that. Now I'm rocking with my own daughter, nigga. Fuck what niggas think my daughter's supposed to do. She ain't gotta have no baby by you niggas' sons. You niggas' sons ain't accomplishing shit.
I don't know how we got to this, but
he talking to them. Hey, you must talk to them hoes.
I mean, you're talking about don't attack your family, but then you're using your family to attack a man over here.
I mean, either your family up there, fam. We already there.
Your family is off limits or they not, bro.
They ain't gotta be.
Family is off limits or not.
They ain't gotta be. They ain't gotta be.
Either you're gonna make the points as
I was just letting it be known
out of it, or you're gonna bring them in. You're gonna bring them in the argument.
So you gotta put your background on me, bro. I was just letting it be known he was doing it.
Okay, Marco.
I don't give a fuck how you choose to handle it from there.
Marco Ross, thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, I don't need it. I'm just asking you a question.
Do you agree that black male babies shouldn't be born?
Should be born to who?
Oh shit!
Right? That doesn't matter.
Yo, these motherfuckers is full of shit, bro.
Come on, cuz really?
That's not a logical question,
shit, bro.
Born to who?
This motherfucker said who like you're owl. You an owl now?
Mama, motherfucker.
You an owl now, man? Come on, bro.
Oh, born to their mama. Are you listening, Cam? Because I do this intellectually, right? Born to their mama.
We all
right. So we clear then.
That wasn't
why the mama has the baby.
That wasn't an intellectual question, bro. That was a biological one.
Right.
What I was saying was, how can you expect an intellectual response to someone saying that maybe we should just abort all the black male babies? There's no way to give an intellectual
Well,
response
that's not what he
or an
just said right
intellectual
there,
counter.
though.
Or intellectual
Because that's the
counterpoint to that.
backdrop
I'm
of what
saying
happened.
this.
If we're gonna keep
I'm
going back to
saying
it,
this.
then yeah.
If I'm saying this, if someone come to me and say we should abort all black male babies, and people know me, I'm more likely to respond to, well, fuck you then, rather than try to convince this person intellectually that, hey, maybe you should be having that black male baby.
Yeah, I mean,
The
you have no
first thing,
control over what they do,
I
though.
mean,
Bro.
yeah, I get that, but my first response always be, well, if you're going to just abort somebody, why can't you just say no?
I
Or
mean,
why
I
can't
get
you just
that,
take,
but the
you
question
know,
is, why do you think you have some control over what women choose to do?
no.
What gives you that
And I've
idea?
already stated this. Like
Nigga,
that
what?
chat. No,
Listen,
listen,
don't feed
guys.
that. Don't feed that. Just
Bro,
answer the
come on,
question,
dog.
Kev. Just
No,
answer the
I've
question, Kev.
already
I mean, like,
said.
what the fuck is wrong
I
with
have
you?
already said. Remember that chat you threw a
This is
ruckus
weird
in
ass
when
shit,
Daphne
bro.
was up here? I've already said that women can do what the fuck they want to do with their bodies. But when you come from a
Oh
malicious
my
standpoint
god.
with that shit, then hey, I got no more for you. Period.
Right, but it's, for me,
That
it's
hold on. First of all,
let me respond, bro. Because
First
to
of
me,
all,
it's malicious to have a child that
question,
you don't want to take care of. That's malicious.
that question,
But see how you just skip over that? See how that don't matter?
in terms of,
You niggas don't care about the well-being of the children. You just want to pump them out, bro.
hold on. We gonna get to that. First of all, that statement basically saying like you can't control women is utterly a feminist talking point. The so-called pro-blackness crowd is nothing but a front for that feminist nonsense. And so because if you go across if you go across the world, don't try to filibuster me. If you go across the world, and if you went 100 years ago, I bet you your great-great-grandfather, if his daughter got pregnant, was not married, either it was a shotgun wedding or she got her ass kicked out. A father damn well controlled the behavior, especially the sexual behavior of his daughter. He ain't need no birth control back then. Because you know who was birth control? The father was.
How many kids you got?
I have respect for that. Because I don't have any.
So how can you speak to this 100-year-old reference, man?
The father had respect because I'm a human.
Fatherhood is
I can't wait to play this back. You just used the 100-year-old reference, man, to fatherhood.
So now, no, we're talking about this ain't 100 years ago, because if you go across the world, it's the same standard in groups of men that are masculine. They make sure they have rules. They have rules in terms of culture, in terms of family, to make sure that the women.
What rules do we have? What rules are you talking about?
To make sure.
Tell me what we're supposed to have. Don't
make sure that the daughter is protected, because they know that if that daughter gets pregnant out of wedlock, it basically makes her off limit to any of the other men in the group, because the cultural standard is so high. Even the mothers wouldn't want their sons to be with a woman that had children out of wedlock. That's how high the standard is. Even the women in other cultures support that, bro.
Wonderful. Like I say, man, again, when you're speaking with no kids, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to just make talking points sound good, but there's a challenge having children even when they get grown, bro. There's still a challenge there. And so, like, for someone to not have children, and you wouldn't even begin to understand my argument in any of that, because I don't care if you niggas be hurt by somebody not wanting to have kids. If a woman don't want to have kids, she just don't want to. You can't make her. You sound stupid.
The whole narrative that is crazy.
The white man made up
black women
on that plantation, though.
Hey,
you're saying we can't tell black women to have black babies. Okay, cool. All right, cool. I can't tell a black woman to go out here and have a black male baby. That makes sense to me. Okay, cool. Why is a black woman out here letting a black male nut in her? I'm so lost on that point.
But that's Cynthia G, right?
Oh my God.
They so
I'm
they
just
so
telling you.
strong
I'm
and
just telling you,
independent,
fam. That's her.
but
That's
they
her
can't keep
point.
them legs
Stop
closed
fucking
though.
these niggas.
They
That's
so
her point,
strong and independent, but they can't keep them legs closed, bro.
bruh. Hey, bruh.
They
She's so
strong
shit.
and independent
But
on
now you
everything
see.
else.
Now you're getting
They
into her
strong and
point.
independent on
But
everything
but do
else.
you? But are
They
you
strong and
understanding
independent
now
on
why women
everything
listen
else.
to her?
But when it comes to no good
Yeah.
black men, all of a sudden, all that
This how
sense
slow
and
y'all
goddess
is.
shit goes out the window,
Hey,
and they
But
bend over
keep
and
making
take
her
that nut.
points.
Okay.
what
Keep making
point?
her
So is
points.
Cynthia? So hold on.
You niggas so
Cynthia
fucking
G.
slow.
Cynthia
Wow.
G. is telling black men, not black women, not to have black babies, and she's also telling them not to fuck black men.
She said stop fucking these niggas a long time ago. She
But don't she fuck black men? I'm lost.
Did she stop? Did she stop fucking them though? Did she
said
stop
she
fucking
ain't
them?
gonna stop. She said she's not going to.
So is it a marketing ploy or something?
Like I don't know why
it's
people
a
can't be
marketing ploy.
themselves.
It's a marketing ploy just to get these.
I don't
Hold
know
on,
why
Taz.
people can't be
That's all it
themselves.
Taz.
Like for real, I'm not about to
instead of
tell.
waiting to
I'm not about to
instead of
tell
waiting to
nobody to
exhale,
stop
it's called
fucking
waiting to
black
gestate.
women.
So she's telling black women, to stop fucking black men, but she's
She said
also
she don't know why
simultaneously
these
saying
women
she's
fuck
not gonna
black
stop
men.
fucking black men.
And she's always said that shit. Yeah. But you have to ask her again. I don't. Like I say, I don't keep up with her life like some of y'all niggas do. I don't care.
No,
enough. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I get it.
not her
I get
say.
it. I'm just
You know how
Like I
somebody
said,
say
bro,
some
that
shit,
class,
it really don't. It really
matters a
don't
whole
matter
lot
to
more,
you.
bro.
Like it don't really matter to me what she says per se in regard to that. Like if she does or doesn't, that ain't really no skin off of my back. That's the type of shit that niggas with no kids wonder about. I got kids to be concerned with. I mean, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing to live for.
In most groups,
you have no purpose on this planet.
In most groups on the planet, she will be out there selling ass, bro.
In most groups on the watch this response though.
Only in America.
In most groups of this, in most groups on this planet, you would be
only in America. Only in America where she can get on the internet and rewrite the history of her life that she makes sense. But in any
only
other
in America
countries in the
is
world,
it masculine
Africa,
for a fucking man to not have no kids, pussy. Only in America is it masculine for some fuckboy to be sitting his bitch ass up crying about Cynthia. Only in America is it okay for some weak ass bitch with no kids to be crying about Cynthia.
Guarantee you, your whole ass wouldn't say that shit in my face, nigga.
Right, of course, because you let me guess. Let me guess. You'll fuck me up. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, bro. Listening to that shit, bro.
Is it about
baby shit,
or is it about fatherhood?
Talk that shit on the
Is a
internet,
principle with manhood
nigga,
before
you the
children
pussy.
are present?
You speak
right. I'm a father, bro. I'm a father. I can't seek out niggas.
Okay.
I can't seek niggas out like you.
But did
You ain't got shit to live for, pussy. You ain't got shit to live for, nigga. You ain't got shit to live for, little nigga. Hopefully you won't be around that much longer. Ain't nobody, you're a benefit to nobody, but you gotta run around and find some kids to mentor, nigga. You run around here fucking begging to mentor somebody kids. Sit your ass down,
nigga. You beg, nigga. That bitch puts you on your knees, nigga. She puts you on your knees and you beg for them kids, nigga.
I had a hard time, bro. I had a hard time.
Key sweat ass nigga.
Absolutely, nigga. I had a hard time with my kids, nigga. It was rough. It was a rough run. But we made it though. But we made it though, nigga. My kids grown now.
Understand something.
My kids grown now, and they did it without a mentor.
Get the fuck out of here.
They both graduated, nigga, top of their classes with no mentor, nigga. Can you believe it?
They ain't do it because you gave them intelligence. I can tell you that.
That's what you're saying.
They father intelligent. What you mean?
You saying that brothers
they did it in spite of you.
Aren't supposed to be able to.
What you say, brother? My bad. Say it one more time. That bitch ass niggas talking over. Say it again.
What you are saying is that brothers without children are not supposed to be building upon fatherhood. Only once you become a father, then you could build upon that or something. I don't understand that.
Right? Yeah, I don't know where you got that from, because what I'm telling him is with zero experience in fatherhood, you wouldn't even begin to walk down that lane to tell someone who is an actual father what the experience is, good or bad.
So what do you
have no idea?
What do you think the overall understanding of fatherhood comes from? Just merely from
it comes from bitch ass niggas like Earth Almighty, right? I like, you know what I'm saying? Because again, y'all understanding of fatherhood is skewed. I call and wake my fucking dad up. Like, I don't have a problem with the understanding of father. I can wake my fucking son up, my daughter, anybody. So
go ahead,
for fatherhood in regard to what some of y'all understand on the internet, though, bro, I'm not done, bro. You need to hear this. Because fatherhood, what niggas understand on the internet, a lot of you niggas are internet niggas. So you picked up your fatherhood tactics and traits from internet niggas, not from niggas who are actual fathers today. Obviously.
You gonna make that assumption, that broad blanket?
I can't. I don't have a choice. I'm the actual father here.
Yeah.
Repeat that statement, Taz. I didn't catch that.
I said I'm the actual father here. So why would I even concern myself with people who aren't even fathers but have advice?
By putting brothers down and shit. That's the lowest of the low, bro. You dirty back professional.
Nigga, you here? If you're not concerned, why the fuck you here?
You're not the only father in the chat.
For some audio.
This is a whole ass nigga, y'all.
For some audio, for some fun.
Y'all take it easy.
Yeah. Keep saying that dumb shit. I have fun with dumb niggas on the audio. We just laugh at niggas like you, bro. Like, because on some real shit, I didn't say anything that isn't understood. Like, you're not a father. You ain't shit, bro. You just a nigga that's talking.
You're right.
Like, what a father's at?
Right.
And if you are a father, if you are a father, then why are you standing with men who aren't fathers? Probably because you ain't in your kids' life like that, like most black men. Most black men are just niggas who made kids. They ain't fathers for real.
That's a plantation logic.
How would you know? You don't have a child.
We understand, Buck.
You don't have a child.
We understand, Buck. We understand that you're a breeder. You're a breeder. You had a kid. You did what you were supposed to do.
How do you understand?
Your ass roasted. You had to go to court. You had to go to court. You had to beg the master for your kid. We did it. We understand.
No, that's not how my situation happened, fam.
Yeah, you had to go to court. My dad didn't have to go to court. My dad got custody of me. All he had to do was just say, "I want my son," and my mother gave me to him after they got divorced. That's all that matters.
My
dad didn't have to go to court.
I ain't gonna go into why.
My dad didn't have to go to court, dog. Nah, you went to court.
I don't want to do that.
Don't try to change it now.
I don't need to change it. Nigga, I'll make that shit work for me, nigga. Keep talking. Keep talking. Say something else smart, nigga.
We got it.
This shit can get worse.
We understand.
All right, let's
not. Mama gave you away, right? You said your mama gave you away, right?
It ain't gonna get worse.
If I was y'all, shut the fuck up. If my mama gave me away.
Let's not do the big.
Most mothers ain't giving away their kids. If your mama gave you away, all your dad had to do was say, "Man, give me my son." Your mom said, "Bet." But you sitting up and talking about what the mothers do. Your mom ain't want you, nigga. I mean, that's clear as day. That's why she gave your weak ass away, but she knew what she had. And she obviously didn't give you away soon enough. She obviously didn't give you away soon enough, nigga.
Is what we doing?
You're part of your father's legacy. That's not giving you away. That's giving to you to who you're supposed to be with, so you can become a man. But you don't understand that. We get it. We understand. We got it.
Your mom gave birth to you and gave you away, bro.
We got it, bro. We got it, bro. And that white man put that time on you when you.
That's where the women issues come from, fam.
Yeah, that's what the white
guys. One of your parents abandoned you, bro.
Hey guys, please.
One of your
that's why you come around begging for black men. That's why you come to the internet, man. Because you can't help yourself.
I'm straight.
Stop begging, nigga.
This ain't
Stop
me.
begging, nigga. Stop.
That's him. Listen to him. He hurt.
Okay. All right. Look, I don't mute people.
Your man's hurt.
But when
that's what I do to niggas. You know what I do, nigga. You hurt.
Look, man. Look. Let's move on, man. Let's move on. The little back and forth, that's not what I do here. Please. I mean,
I don't think men can help themselves. I mean, when you're an amateur father, a mentor, I don't know if you can help yourself, man. I'm just speaking from the experience of a father, and it's hard to do so with men who don't have that experience.
Man, listen up, guys. Listen up. Look, I told a black Martian, thank you for the super chat. He said you can't be a father if you bliss in her mouth. What the? Oh, you can't be a father if you bliss in her mouth.
You busting nut.
Yeah, and that's that don't help the children.
Taz.
I mean, shit is
less
the
about
not having them.
It's less about boys and more about jokes and shit for niggas. That's why they say don't even have them.
Hey, Taz.
I mean, but super chats like that is why she's saying don't have them. You know what I'm saying? But like y'all still don't get it. So I mean, like I say, it's a joke. Like, so I mean, I hope they do stop having them. You know what I'm saying? That way motherfuckers will get actually understood the point.
Chaz, this is what I don't understand, man.
You know what I don't understand? Every time I try to talk, somebody said something.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like, God damn. hey, little Taz, while you here, man. And I did see Q Butter ask for the link, and I did drop it. So, you know, if he got something he wants to say, and I'm quite sure he does, then he can come up here. But Taz, give me a definition of B1. Give me your definition of B1.
Everything I do is black first. So it's an ideology.
Okay. Because I needed clarity on this.
It's an ideology that puts the thought process, perspective, understanding of a black person first. I'm black, and everything I look at is through the lens of a black person.
Okay. Okay, so it's not because you're black, then you're for black. It's just that everything you look at the black part of it first. So that's what B1 means.
Ideologically speaking, I would like to be for black people, but just in reality, most black people ain't moving based on blackness. Like it's not 1965. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's like when you say black men brutally honest, that black ain't got no power to it. The power to your statement comes from men, not black. You're here having these conversations for men, not necessarily the blackness. But because black gets used so much in every other facet, when you say it in response like a pro-blackness or whatnot, there's an automatic, umbrella thrown over. That's why dude threw Africa in this shit. Like, but that ain't me. But there's an automatic understanding. And again, that's why I say it's a lot of black men are dumb because they move based on those automatics. They're not willing to even have a conversation to know who they talking to. So you'll move based on an automatic assumption. Just because Cynthia said it, that means I agree because I'm not pissed off like you are. That's silly. You know what I'm saying? That's like, bro, that's crazy. You the one without kids, not me. Why would you be mad? But like I say, I've gotten used to the space. There's so many of these niggas in the space. When will black men grow out of being concerned with what Cynthia said? It's like Cynthia got more power over these niggas than Lori Lightfoot.
Q Butter, is that you? Q Butter.
Yo, what's poppin'?
Oh, okay, that's you. So I don't have to, people like to pull these overlays. I pull out an overlay just in case somebody try to pull some fuck shit. But welcome, man. What's going on? What you gotta say?
Yeah, I be seeing you be shooting with your videos, man. I be like, oh, he be shooting that motherfucker. Is he funny as shit, B?
Well, funny as in humorous or funny as in fucked up? You clarify that with me.
Well, it was humorous. I don't take that shit serious. You know what I mean? Like that shit comedy to me.
Why would I say my baby mom should have aborted my son? See what I'm saying? Like it's so many jealous men. These niggas been jealous of me since I came to YouTube, though, Kev. You know that? Like I've always been a star on this motherfucker. Motherfucker said my son should have been aborted. Like my son, the one without no father. Like my son need a mentor. No, nigga, my son played basketball and football and baseball, and maybe somebody might help him with that shit. But he has a father.
Chad,
children have fathers because of niggas like you who mad as fuck at me. But shit, I'm here with my children. I'll always be a father.
Chaz, let me jump in for a moment.
It's so sad.
Let me talk for a moment. Were you there the moment your children were born?
Absolutely, both of them. Yes.
So you were married to the mother of both of your children?
Married? No.
Yes.
But you asked me if I was there. I was in the room.
Correct.
Both of my children first.
I asked the follow-up question.
No, I wasn't married to him though. No.
So this is what he's talking about when he makes that statement.
What's that?
Hold on. You're only looking at it in the context of which you have become, not what you were.
What I was in the delivery room with my children who are both named after me.
Hold on.
No. You hold on. I ain't never not been a right there father. So there's no context to that with me. You got to make it make sense. My children have my name, both of them.
This is what you're not addressing. When we talk about general, in order to try and minimize that, you break it back down to yourself. You're not the black culture. You're just a tooth in it.
Right. I'm a unicorn within it.
Right. So this is what he's talking. This is what he's referencing when he says that Cynthia G says that type of stuff. It's counterproductive.
She's saying it to niggas like him. Right. It's not counterproductive. She's saying it to niggas like him who are not going to name his children. Listen, bro, you're not hearing me. He's not going to name his children after himself. He don't care where his children are. He's not going to be a good father. Fuck him. That's exactly what she's saying don't have children by. Niggas like me who gonna actually stand up and make sure my children represent something and have a legacy and what? No, bruh. It's a difference.
See, this is what you're not examining in totality. If she was really about what she,
why don't you come upstairs and just talk to me?
Terrified, bitch ass nigga.
Hold on. This is what you're not understanding about what she's saying. She's doing the opposite of what she's saying. So how in the world do you use the talking points?
She said she's not birthing black male babies, bro.
Say that again?
She gave birth to a black male.
She's messing with a man who you're talking about.
She gave birth to a black male, bro. I don't know nothing about.
I don't know the gender of a child. I don't pay attention to Cynthia G.
Right. Well, then
I don't pay attention to Cynthia G.
She ain't gave birth to no black male, then she ain't being hypocritical, bro. Like
she's dealing with a man.
I don't know who she's dealing with. I don't know nothing about that.
Well, she didn't get pregnant by a woman.
What type? She ain't pregnant. It was just a statement. It was just a statement made on my panel, and a bunch of weak ass niggas got upset about it. It wasn't even about a real pregnancy.
Cynthia G has had a kid, correct?
Why does
that I know of? She ain't saying no shit like that.
Why does that matter? She had a child,
internet ass niggas.
Because I'm trying to get him to understand the larger context.
I'm in the manosphere hearing about, man, y'all niggas crazy, bro.
Has been about Cynthia G. That's weird.
No. It's about what she's saying and how that's being weaponized.
Who gives a fuck what she say, bro? Who gives a fuck? Honestly, who gives a fuck what she say?
These niggas.
I don't, but what I'm saying is what
you can't say you don't. All of your talking points has been centered around her. You ain't come up here and say,
no, not mine.
Look, let me show you how you do it. Yo, Taz, I need you on your channel to start talking more about financial literacy, black empowerment, and showing black men how to uplift themselves. Because that's what I do on my channel. Was that hard, Taz?
Yes, that's hard for me to do because I don't think black men are financially illiterate. I'm actually against that talking about. I think black men are financially literate. I just think they ain't had the finances to show it. But I do think black men are financially literate. But I'm not doing black empowerment. Like, do you hear these niggas, bro? I wouldn't dare do black empowerment. Like, these are the niggas who get empowered through black empowerment. No, bro, I'm not gonna empower these bitch ass niggas to keep on being lame. Sitting up talking about Cynthia and whining about some shit she said. They care more about what she said than what I say. Fuck that, bruh. I don't give a fuck what she said in regard to what I say. But niggas will skip over what I say to tell me what she said. Who really care about her too much? Nah, bro, you can't empower these niggas, but these niggas need to be deconstructed first.
That's why I'm showing them how to address you. Like,
so
G, that's a waste of time. We men. We don't even pay, like, that's the next.
Hold on now. So you don't believe in black empowerment because a small sector of niggas on YouTube?
Yes, we're on YouTube. So when it comes to empowerment, our vocal empowerment is less important than our actual action and physical, tangible empowerment that we can show that actually matters. If we just keep on doing what the empowerment was in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, we ain't showing nothing tangible. Black empowerment got to be about building. I got to be able to show you, hey, yeah, Q Butter do have a school over here. Hey, we build media over here. Hey,
I didn't ask you about specifics. I'm just saying in general, you're anti-black empowerment because of a small section of niggas on YouTube.
Right. Well, also historically too, though. You know what I'm saying? Historically, black empowerment has failed in a way where people started using talking points as opposed to using actual history and facts. So I would base that on history and not just YouTube. But of course, I'm pretty sure you're not ready to walk down the historical lane with me.
And I want you to
Well, I
understand.
mean, I wasn't having a historical conversation with you. I asked about.
And you
brother, real quick, brother. Understand, I'm about black empowerment.
Probably not. Just like you couldn't have a conversation with boxing about me. There's certain sections people just don't have.
For a little minute, I
about,
could.
but
You'll leave me behind. For a minute, I could. But you'll leave me. You get me?
Brother that's talking to Taz. I want you to know at the same time, Taz and I don't agree with these talking points at all. You see what I mean? Like that's.
I'm not gonna hold you. My phone's gonna die, so I might dip out. I'll come back. Go ahead.
But I'm saying I'm about black empowerment. So when I hear Taz say that, and I look at the mix of the people in the audience and what's going on YouTube, I understand why he's saying that. So instead of arguing with him, I try to show him the work.
So
yeah, work for most though.
I understand maybe showing the work, but when certain things come out and people ask you questions like, you rock with a certain person that has a certain feeling about black people and it's negative, right? And you guys sidestep the conversation or justify it in some way, you understand it makes you look suspect, right?
And I can tell you all about that.
That's little sis. That's what I'm saying. I want to make sure we clear though. That is the longest running relationship on YouTube I have. I met her when I first got here, and all these niggas done stabbed me in the back. That's why I say, like, I didn't get stabbed in the back by her. I don't have a bunch of emails and inboxes and shit from her asking me to come on her shit and begging me to be part of her group and shit. That's why I say, like, no, nigga. It's far from that. That's the longest running relationship a motherfucker that ain't stabbed me in the back, switch up, start rumors and blah, blah, blah. And to the person in the chat, I'm married. So why would I do anything independent of my wife? Your lonely man mentality don't work with me.
Because that's the person that you've known the longest, you cool with, basically, right? Well, that's what that boils down to, right? The person you cool with, you know her the longest, she's not done you, in your opinion, dirty. The crazy statements that person makes,
I'm gonna back her up. Yeah, I'm gonna back her up.
All right, let me read this super chat. Real quick. Ayatollah Black Martian. I think this is a comment for Q Butter. Say Q Butter, a real man, hide behind 10 dudes after swinging on an unarmed man with his back turned. Now, I don't know anything about that. I mean, whatever that means.
A Tommy fan.
I know he's a derelict though, bro. Because I'm not the one that swung at Tommy.
Oh, are you talking about are you serious?
He's talking about the one in New York. In New York.
I'm like, bro, that's how some people. Some people's comprehension skills are just like that.
No, I saw that video. I saw you confront Tommy, but I didn't see you swing on him.
Yeah, I'm not the one. I'm actually the one that was trying to tell a brother to chill. I said the whole time, and I say again, everybody got the right to speak. But you also have to take accountability for the fact that if you disrespect somebody, they got the right to go to jail and after punching you in the mouth.
Well, then, that only applies if you're a woman in Tommy's eyes. But go ahead.
But Q Butter, you don't think Tommy deserved that? Since he came on New York?
It's not a matter of whether or not I feel like he deserves what he deserves. I don't feel like he deserved to be at that event.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's a lot more speech that's a lot more dangerous in our community than Tommy or Cynthia G's to me. There's a lot more actions that.
Yeah, you're right about that.
You know what I mean? Like people who have real issues with, like I have an issue with abortions. You can go back to 2000. My first video that went viral was me standing in front of Planned Parenthood talking about how to these black sisters, you'll stop working for Planned Parenthood. So I expect if y'all have an issue with abortions, y'all should be in front of Planned Parenthood picketing and talking against Planned Parenthood being inside of every school. Cynthia G is not inside of your children's schools offering your daughters and sons access to abortions right now. Planned Parenthood is. So if you have an issue with abortions, I expect you to be on the front line in these schools and in these services centers that are providing these things to our sisters. I expect you to be inside of the counseling centers with our young brothers, providing them with means and access to employment so that way they can take care of these families. Because that's where the real challenges is at. This YouTube shit is hilarious.
How long ago you did that video, Q Butter?
Like 10 years ago, maybe
shit,
longer.
so whole decade. Okay.
Okay, so what you're saying is this YouTube stuff is a joke, and you cannot use your outreach to have a positive impact.
No,
Say,
I
for
use my outreach to have a positive impact. All the students I got, I'm probably one of the few people that's actually got many YouTubers connected to work together on this project called Zyx Institute. Parents all over the place, you know, scrutinizing how whatever to make it work. But I'm all about taking advantage of the situation. However, the talking points and the typical rhetoric that's spewed is not worthy of my, you know, only reason I joined the panel, I've been seeing you throwing the things in the chat, but I see you as a little different because you be joking. So I'm like, look, long as you keep it comedic, it's whatever to me. Like, you know, we can get through it. People may not have an understanding off of just one video. You might have seen me in a conversation and seen me with somebody else. I'm like, oh, I just make an assumption that this is what this person's about. It's whatever. I ain't that serious to me.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is I'm mostly comedic and I don't stand on anything I say. Like what like for instance,
I don't know what you say, so I don't even have anything to ask you to stand on.
Oh, okay. Well, you think well you feel like you've heard enough though in order to
put my name in the titles, and I know people associate my relationship with Cynthia G with me being that I accept all of her talking points, so I speak the same way she speaks, and that's pretty, you know, immature to me.
Yeah. Well,
is Chris Silverman gay? Is that a gay black man? Is he LBGT?
I don't know. I don't know his sexuality.
Oh, okay. No, I'm thinking he is. My bad.
Okay. Well, okay. Due to the exchange you two just had, I mean, I can't really say nothing about it.
He was up here? I'm just reading his comments in the chat.
Yeah. But getting back to myself and Q Butter, I just want to put some clarity out there for the audience. Put your name in one video. It was one video.
Yeah, you shouldn't have did that, though.
I shouldn't have did it.
No, you shouldn't have did that.
It's indicative of your personality. One, like the time it's taking you to make a video about me, you could be making a video to inspire black children, to inspire the black love in the black community. But you chose to make a video about me. The time it takes to edit that, download the videos, do the commentary, that's time that was wasted on talking about me. I have no value to that conversation. You didn't even highlight my institute. I could say if you did a video about my institute, which is actually important, about the programs I'm doing in Brownsville or around the country. No, you didn't talk about that.
They don't care about that shit, bro. They just use black when they can for.
Look, okay. Well, since I'm here, I can always offer clarity. Number one, I thought you did very poorly in that interview with Courtney Michelle. Very poorly. So I had an opinion on that. Number two, whatever I decide to do with my time, including edit a video, whether I have criticism or not, I don't believe that's a waste of my time.
I told you that was a setup, bro. That's a whole family, bro.
I didn't even, honestly, bro, even the Kobe video, I was even disappointed in that. Like, they completely didn't even respond to me having an institute. They only wanted to know about my opinion with Cynthia G. And I'm like, yo, you could ask it yourself.
Because it is a very controversial talking point.
No, it's an immature. If you think about what you said,
Manosphere niggas, them OGs, y'all niggas like listening to, nigga.
It's a controversial talking point,
panels,
but in the sense of empowerment in the community, it's not irrelevant. It's not relevant.
Nigga, I'm a legend from outside the space. Why you think that nigga down there pussy popping right now, nigga? I'm fucking legend and in the fucking manosphere and spit on you niggas. Nigga never wanted to be part of that shit. Always shit on you niggas in your space, nigga. Fuck you talking about, lame ass nigga.
That's your opinion.
Nigga down there pussy popping now because he's more concerned about Cynthia and could care less about helping, finishing any jobs or building with black men. That's what the manosphere represent. A bunch of niggas that want to be fucking derelicts and don't want to build with black men. That shit is lame, bro.
Well, maybe some of us have the same opinion about B1 panels. You know, the B1 panels that you run. A bunch of derelict ass niggas. I'm just saying, a bunch of derelict ass niggas that don't do nothing but start shit with folks. Like, that could be viewed the same way. I'm just saying. Look, and I've viewed B1 panels. I mean, yeah, sometimes y'all be on some intellectual shit. Sometimes y'all be on some bullshit.
I'm B1. You got to remember, I'm B1.
You ain't click that much.
So you got Taz, when it comes to media content, brother, right? Taz is outworking people. Like when we talk about who's doing videos featuring black people's issues, videos talking about black history, videos that you may not agree or I may not agree, but taking the time to put out content that's centered on black people, Taz did that for about 3 years straight. And still does it.
Every day.
Yeah, he does that, but he does a lot of content adversarial towards some black men in particular. Some black men that aren't even really checking for you. I've seen this content.
Yeah. You can't check. You can't check.
And it's
hey,
like, what's the point?
It's only a certain amount of time you can check for me, right?
I'm just saying, what's the point? What's the point in all that adversarial crap, though?
But Ken, like, once you didn't check for me and I shut you the fuck up, why would you keep checking for me? Like O'Shea, like Kevin Samuels, like Obsidian, like Angry Man. It's a reason they ain't checking for me now. Nigga, I shut them niggas the fuck up. It's a big difference.
So what you ain't like what I said on that thing?
Well, I pretty much thoroughly explained it on the video. I said that I didn't like the fact that you could not answer her questions with a straight answer, you being a school teacher and all. I expect more from educators to be able to answer straight questions, and you weren't answering them straight. It seemed like you were trying to dodge and avoid them. Like that one question she asked you, why don't you just say marry before you carry instead of avoid black babies? And you said, hey, you know what? That's your opinion. And, you know, one thing I learned about, being on this platform is narcissism.
You need the internet, nigga.
But what's wrong with me understanding that people want to police people's words? Look what the person had. Do I have an issue with Tommy's speech? What did I say with Tommy's speech? That's not for me. You see, that's maturity. I'm not here to police people's speech.
Seems like it. You told me that instead of I should have been making a video to inspire children.
I made a suggestion, and I'm judging you. And I didn't make even a suggestion. I'm just judging you, saying like, look, if we're gonna talk about black empowerment, if you're gonna ask Taz about black empowerment, the time you're taking to make these videos about me, we need to be making content about inspiring the community.
He said with Cynthia and agreed. He was sitting with Cynthia while she was attacking black men. I can't believe he's here.
I don't,
fuck, bro. Why these niggas crying so much about Cynthia, Cam?
Ask them. How many videos have I made about Cynthia G? Even though I don't agree with 99% of what she says.
It is ridiculous, bro. And she says now the manosphere be leaving niggas salty. Well, bro, I don't like the idea of messing with 12-year-old girls and shit, bro. That's what I exposed about the manosphere, putting 17-year-old girls on.
And I've never supported anything like that at all.
I'm just saying, though, but if niggas want to start talking about the manosphere having niggas salty, hell yeah, I start telling you why I'm salty too, nigga. Fuck you mean? Niggas out here trying to pimp young girls, nigga. That's what you for? You a pedo too, nigga? You fuck with underage girls too, nigga? You put little girls on Craigslist too, little nigga?
Are you
I bet you won't click that link, nigga, and talk that manosphere shit, nigga. Y'all niggas crazy, nigga.
Why are you implying that I support selling 12-year-old girls on Craigslist?
Don't you support BGS in them? Don't you support that weird ass nigga?
Support BGS? What are you talking about?
I'm saying, don't BGS. Support all these manosphere content creators. Ain't y'all good?
Look, let me offer you some clarity real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Manosphere came to me. I didn't go to the Black Manosphere doing all this suck up shit like y'all implying that I do.
That's what's up.
They came to me. Now, as far as all of this other crazy shit that y'all talking, I clearly said if it like to Indigenous people earlier, if you can't prove it or there's no way to prove it, then don't say it here.
I'll leave it at that, Kev. If they came to you, because that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They try to recruit people and whatnot. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I wasn't the one. You know what I'm saying? I was cool on that shit. And that's why a lot of niggas don't get it, because when you reject the male space, they feel like you're rejecting men. You know what I'm saying? It's not really that. It's certain men that are a problem, though. Some people are not ready for what we're trying to accomplish within media. Like, we public now, bro. The world sees us. Like, we gotta do more than just talk about who fucking who and whatnot. Motherfuckers have a simple mind, bro. And yeah, I don't know what you mean by self-hating, but the only time I replicated myself was with my 2 kids. Other than that, like there is no self with me and you. You know what I'm saying? It's me and it's you. So I can't be self-hating. Like you niggas weird. Simple minded.
Did you hear me say self-hating to you, Taz?
I'm reading your chat, bro.
You know that nigga in the chat.
Oh, okay. I got it.
I'm reading your chat, bro. I don't understand how you can be self-hating. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I just expect better out of black men. And a lot of black men don't want that. They shift to a Cynthia G conversation and you say you simply want better. So it's like, fuck it. All right, well, maybe she right. maybe she shouldn't be sitting on this motherfucker saying some shit that you niggas would be happy about. Maybe she should piss you niggas off. Niggas gonna get mad.
Oh, I mean, well, here's one thing that I've always said about Cynthia G. I don't agree with 90 to 95 to 99% of what she says, but she does have the right to say it. That's what I said.
So with that being said, you got to rescind your statement and asking me to answer that question. When somebody's asking me, "Oh, should they have these talking points?" That's their talking points.
You know me.
Rescind the question. No, I'm not going to rescind the question to you because you're a grown man. Like if I ask you a question,
but the question pertains to somebody else's talking points. What's
manosphere, Taz? The fact that I require grown men to be grown men? Like the fuck?
I'm talking
if you're requiring grown men to be grown men, you got to display that action. Making videos about me having a commentary about some shit that I didn't even want to fucking discuss. When all my attention is being centered on empowering the black community, is not helping the black community. That's not some grown man shit. That's some sucker shit.
Well, if you didn't want to discuss it, then why as a grown man did you discuss it?
I put my own content out about myself in Indigenous TV. I put my own shortcomings up on the screen, bro.
We Indigenous not on the screen, bro. You gotta I get it. They gonna say the peanut gallery is gonna always have some slick shit to say. You can't. There's no way possible you can answer all of them all the time. You know what I mean? But dude in the middle, Q Butter. If you didn't want to answer that question, why'd you answer it?
I did answer it. I said if you have an issue with somebody's opinion.
I said if you did not want to answer it, if you didn't want to talk about it, right? Why'd you give them the answer?
The talking points. The reason why I joined the panel. Because they were talking about the community, and I was like, this is an opportunity for me to talk about my institute and what I'm doing in the community. Then they uttered something about Cynthia, and I was like, yeah, I know about Cynthia. Then the conversation became about all these talking points. I'm like, look, y'all don't know who I know in real life. I got rappers in the studio right now, literally.
But hold on, let me jump in here for a moment. What he's asking you is all you had to do is say, I have no comment regarding Cynthia G. He's saying you didn't do that.
My comment was directly there. If you want to ask her, why don't you ask her yourself?
No.
You still answered. You still answered their question.
Answered the question by saying that, because by saying it's not that she's saying it.
Well,
the reason why I say this
different. See how we're having this dialogue now? That's no problem having this dialogue, and we can find, and I can take your advice with it. That's no problem.
The reason, let me put it to you like this.
Before you put it to me anyway,
hold on. Let him finish the statement.
Anyway, hold on. Before you put it to me anyway, understand right now, you're just giving me counsel and advice, which I'm open to.
You ain't never been on my channel.
Right? What I'm saying is the time now. If you would have made a video chopping this up, joking on it, and all of this extra stuff, I'm gonna judge you by the time you took to do that. Like what's going on in your life? You don't have nothing better to do with your editing time?
Oh, what, 2 hours?
What?
The fuck?
What?
That shit took me 2 hours, man. What the fuck?
2 hours of time.
Nah. I'm not gonna let you sidestep that. Listen, I asked you a simple question. You didn't have to answer that question. You answered it. Therefore, because you answered that question and the response that you gave, people are gonna judge you on that. So
judge me. I have no problem with you judging me. But
what do you have to say?
You choose to say that you're a black man about building a black community, and you're spending your time making those frivolous videos, you're not building anything. If you were really about building a community, were really about building a community, Why wouldn't you make a video about my institute, about my STEM program?
Why would anybody make a video about you building the institute and you're okaying the killing of black men? So you're lessening the numbers that you're okay.
Again, did I ever say I'm okaying the killing of black men?
It is the action shit, bro. They triggered.
You see?
No. Hold on. Listen. So what was the question they asked you?
I asked him. I don't remember the questions. That was a
trigger, bro. It's sad.
So they asked you about Cynthia G and killing black boys.
It's sad.
You don't remember? Do you remember your response?
No.
Okay, fair enough. You don't remember your response.
I even mentioned in the video. Did they not say that you were? They didn't say that you were a educator. They didn't say you were an accomplished musician. They said that you were a Cynthia G supporter. That's what drew me to the video. The only reason why I even made the video in the first place is because it was you. And I'm sitting there like,
again, that's the point I'm making. Where if we're being brutally honest, why are you worrying about me being associated with Cynthia G when I'm doing work in the community?
Because your work can be considered suspect, fraudulent.
So if you want to say my work is suspect, go into the Better Bureau, go into the Better Business Bureau, come to my location, go on my website, talk to my clients, talk to the people inside of the organization, talk to the people volunteering all over the country. That's how you verify it. And I openly have that accessible for you.
So
look, we're gonna be in class tomorrow.
Hold on.
In class tomorrow.
You're hiding behind things that are put up for you. But if you are problematic in any way, shape, or form, there's always that neighbor that goes in the interviews where you go, he was a serial killer. He killed 45 people. They're all buried in his backyard. And they talk to the neighbor, and the neighbor goes, well, he was a good guy. He was always over here at the barbecue. He came over and brought us great sides. He was a good person.
Bro,
right?
I have cameras.
So,
I don't understand what you're saying.
Hold on. So what the conversation ultimately ends up becoming is go talk to my neighbors. They say I'm good. And then we go look in your backyard and there's bodies buried.
No. That's not what we're saying. Now, if we're talking about
no. The question I'm asking to you is if people are having a conversation with you about somebody that you rock with and they're making statements about black male babies being aborted, or as Taz said, you don't have to have them. Right. But at that point, it's pretty much abortion. Right. And you're supporting this dynamic. Why would I want to send my kid to your school, regardless of the accolades that are put on online and the people that you could have paid to say something or XYZ?
Now, if we want me to answer that so directly, first and foremost, is your child in public school?
Yes.
The public school right now receives money directly from Planned Parenthood and the governments to provide your children with access and means to abortions. Do you have an issue with that in your school? Obviously, yes. You don't, because you allow it. Once you take,
no.
Understand though.
Me having an issue with something is not. Go ahead.
Regardless of your issue, the fact that your child is in the school, the law states that they can talk to your children about sex and provide them now with means to abortions without your approval.
That's going to be predicated upon what district you're in. That's a mistake.
It may be that is pretty much nationwide now.
That's a mistake.
No, he's correct in saying that. However, me being
so you see the challenge
me being put in the position to where I can't really put my child in a school that's going to really do otherwise, right? It's different from me being like, oh well, fuck that kid, go for the goal.
No, what I'm showing you is that your statement and questions, and I just like you said a bunch of stuff to me,
right?
Asking me about, right? So I have an issue with these in the school system. My children have never been in the school system, and it's not just enough for my children not to be in the school system. I created a system so that way your children don't have to experience that. So in my
So you legitimately sidestepping my question, and then go ahead. By all means, go ahead. My bad.
You see what I mean? Like I build. So just so you know, when I talk to people, I'm always centered around building. I'm a Pan-African. I don't do debates. I joke because it's fun to keep the conversation and levity there. but I'm always centered around building, brother. So if you think I'm sidestepping and doing all that other stuff, if you see me on an interview get funny, it's because I feel like I'm wasting my time. Right now I came because I'm back in Taz and I wanted to talk to the brother there. But literally I turned my camera on. I just finished filming 5 videos centered on Black empowerment. Not no basic stuff. How to be a better father, how to be a father to daughters, how to improve your life, how to be motivated, how to leave the school system, why you should leave the school system. That is what my time is centered on. Every single thing I do in my life is dedicated to the empowerment of Black people. I come across a lot of people who do not share my ideologies and my views. I don't judge them. I learn to navigate this world in a way so that way I can try to motivate them and inspire them to be about Black empowerment, to see our people in a certain way. I transverse conversations with all types of people. I have a music studio that recorded not too long ago one of the biggest gang songs in New York City. Right now, the brother who just recorded a song with Kanye blew up in my music studio.
I really don't want to interrupt you. Can you wrap it up?
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'll give him my time. So the reason why I'm saying this, I'm getting long-winded. It's the middle of the night. Forgive me on that. But the reason why I'm saying this is when we're having these conversations, if we're talking about building, I'm going to go straight to building. If you want to talk to me directly about building, let's talk about that. So if your child right now, if you have an issue with Cynthia G talking about Planned Parenthood, she has no ramifications on your children. But if you really care about the issues centered around abortions and those who promote abortions and a lifestyle centered around sexual activity that's promoted from a white lens, you should not have your child in the Board of Ed. So when you ask me these questions, I find it to be disingenuous and fraudulent because you're talking to someone who's created a system so that way you can get your children out of the system and get them away from those types of forms of education.
All right, can I respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and not to downplay you, I haven't done a full amount of research on you or anything like that. This is my first conversation with you, right? I don't know you. Based on a conversation that I've seen with you in it, I look at you suspect. The reason I look at you suspect is because you back something that I completely disagree with. I understand that you have done, X, Y, Z in the community, or you feel like you've done X, Y, Z in the community. However, there's been people in the community who have done things and they are agents. There have been people in the community who have done things and they are coons. There have been people who have a great list of accolades and their ASNs, the ancient niggas, right? So you saying to me, well, your son's in the public school system and I live in a state that's completely different from you. You don't exactly know where I live at. You don't know what options we have available. You don't even know what my financial options are. I find that disingenuous. And furthermore, to put all those accolades out and say that you've done X, Y, Z, I feel like you're trying to avoid the fact that I asked you a simple question. And rather than acknowledge that, hey, listen, yeah, you know what? It was a stupid thing for me to say, or maybe I didn't really think about it at the time, or I shouldn't have answered the question that way. You relied on saying, well, I built X, Y, Z, instead of saying, a proper answer. So we can go back and forth on the dynamic of who said what or how it was said. But the ultimate thing here is you're backing an individual who is up for the genocide of Black men. And it can be broken down in many different ways, but that's ultimately what it comes down to. So I understand that this is your friend. I understand this is your Taz, that you're Taz's friend, and you came to back him up. And Taz claims on very on an often basis that he doesn't need backup. So I don't think he needs backup based on what he says. That you've come to this space to say all this, but I really don't understand why you're here to make these claims, and I've just asked simple questions.
Well, first and foremost, the link was open. This ain't your panel, so that's why I joined it. I came.
No, it's not my panel.
So now going down, so that's the understanding. Secondly, my program was doing remote education prior to COVID. So more than likely, you're in a state that we already have students in. It's our third year, but we have students all over the country. We have in about 35 different states. And we also have a set your own price program. So that way, whatever your budget is, we can work with you. Bow. So that knocks all of those things out.
No, it doesn't.
Hold on, Dion. Let me jump in here for a moment. Q Butter, what he's saying is this.
He said what he said. I just went down. He said, you don't know if I can afford to get out of the school system. I'm just showing you how what I've done.
Who is that?
Now we'll go back to hold on before. Now you're going to you didn't like the way I answered it. That's
no.
That's on you. You can't tell me how I should have answered the question. That's on me. That's my choice to answer it. I'm a grown ass man. Now, if you don't like it, that's cool.
Herbert. Let my phone's gonna die, so just let that man answer his question. I'm gonna die. You can jump on it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. So like how I chose to answer the question, that's cool. That's on you. If you don't like it, I have no problem. If you don't like what I said, if you choose not to work with me or something like that, I would tell you before you do that, you should do your research. So if you think that I might be an agent and everything those things, I'm gladly open. You can do your research, beloved. You know what I'm saying? That's simple as that. That don't bother me. Now, to the next point is there's always going to be, statements in which we may make in publicly where people may, irk a certain people or hit a people a certain way and they don't like, it may not resonate with them. It happens. You see what I mean? I'm not here for that. What I did come here for is because the brother chose to make a video about that. And I want to understand the pathology of the person who chooses to make a video about that versus making a video about the school or the programs I'm doing in the community.
Okay, so as far as the education system, my son is at a school by a black man who was my junior high school. I guess he was the vice principal. He was the vice principal. Chief Hill. Chief Hill has a I forget what you call it, but Chief Hill has a school that he's opened up. A black man. He does much of what you're talking about. He's little on the old side, but a lot of the talking points that you use, they're not in my school. But my child is young, so he's not getting any of this anyway at this point, right? In terms of what you said about researching your school, why would I bring my son to your school and you're okay with women aborting black male babies, right? So I see what you're trying to say there. However, I don't feel comfortable bringing my child to a school where the CEO of the company or the person that's running the school is cool with black male babies being aborted.
Let me ask you this. So, I just told you I don't promote abortion. I don't support abortion. I can go back 10 years and show you my first video going viral.
Cool, but
hold on, let me finish my statement. Speaking at Planned Parenthood against abortion.
Cool, but you supported somebody who supports abortion, correct?
When I'm associated to somebody who supports the aborting of men's children who are
associated is not support. So, do you support Cynthia G, or are you associated with her?
I'm associated with her. I support her as a friend, yeah.
So, do you support her
as a friend? Yeah.
So when she has political views, do you support her political views?
What do you when you say define support? Like, I don't have to edit videos for her. She doesn't ask me to do anything. We're friends. We're cool. Like, we met on YouTube. Same way we're having conversations. We can be cool. There's gonna be things that you say that I don't fucking agree with.
So when I say support, Cynthia G says something to the effect of, black women shouldn't have black male babies. And then people ask you about that, and you don't say something like, I don't agree with that, but however, she's entitled
talking
to her
about
opinion.
The Dusties. That's what he said. She's talking about the Dusties.
Oh, no. I'm very aware of what he said.
Yeah,
however,
that puts a spin on it. That statement she's talking about. I was raised as a 5%er.
Right.
So,
No.
So the views of the numbers and how you people see the numbers and articulate the percentages is different in each community. So I understand.
Right. No. So instead of saying, I don't agree with that, saying something like, she's talking about the Dusties seems more or less like it's okay to abort black male Dusties. which
no,
we have
I'm
no
not
way to
saying it's okay.
quantify
I'm just
or
clarifying your statement because when if you're gonna quote it correctly. Like she's talking about dusty dudes.
well, I mean, you didn't remember the statement, so Kev is
No,
basically
but
giving you
I'm talking about Cynthia's statement. That statement is what she clearly states. That's not
right. No,
regardless of the
no.
interview, that's
You
what
did. You did. I asked you earlier. You said you didn't remember. So Kev is
No, I'm talking about we're talking about if you're talking about the talking points that Cynthia typically has, that's the one that people typically want to know what. And I'm like, look, that's her talking point. That don't got nothing to do with me.
so.
That's that. I have friends who are fucking white girls. I have friends that fucking feel that black people ain't shit. Like, it's the real world. Like, I can't change everybody's mentality. Like, the only thing I could do is provide them with a different image.
So you have friends that you feel like black people ain't shit.
Yeah.
And you don't see why I wouldn't want my children to be associated with your school.
When I use the word friend, you see what I mean? You have to be able to differentiate. I don't know what kind of world you live in, but I'm an amicable person who understands that black people have all different types of pathologies and different views. There's black people who feel that black people who are part of who aren't Christians are in this. There's black people who are Israelites.
I'm not going to mix words with you.
No, but I'm just showing you that.
But that sounds like coon logic to me. And I'm not trying to disparage you. I'm not trying to be funny with you.
But when you say coon logic, you haven't done anything to put yourself in the position to even like. It's cool you saying that, but you talking to Q Butter. You ain't did nothing for the community, brother.
Based on what? Based on what? Because
now let's go work for work. What have you done for the black community?
Well, I have not been friends with people. Hold on. Okay. I've not been friends with. I've not been with friends. Quiet. Let me answer your question. I've not been friends with people who dislike black people. That's one.
That's cool.
Let's see here. I've not created a school system in which I backed publicly women who say we shouldn't have black male babies.
I got you. What have you built? You see how you're spinning around the question?
No. You're spinning around questions. I'm just answering. I'm just answering for you. Now, if you want to ask me what do I do for no. If you want to ask me what I do for black people in my city around my neck of the woods, I can tell you that I've run programs where I've taught black males and black females how to. Hold on, I don't need you to come behind me. Thank you. I can tell you. No. I don't need you. Listen, when you was talking, I was quiet. Now I'm talking. All of a sudden, you got something to talk about. All of a sudden, you got something to talk about. Why is it problematic when I'm talking? You got something to talk about it.
Understand the respect changed. When you called
the respect changed when you started capping. The respect changed when you started capping, and I gave you all the love in the world. No. You don't have you. No. You don't have no. You're the nigga that stands behind other niggas when they do work. You the nigga that says I did something when you didn't do nothing but some cool. I didn't call you a set out, and I made it very clear. I said it sounds like coon talking points. And that's not to disparage you.
So put your face on it. You ain't got nothing for the community. You work for a white man.
Says you.
Go to a white school.
Says you.
Coon ass nigga.
As I'm a coon ass nigga that would do more for the community than you, because you out here tapping for white folks like you Daffy Duck with a hat on and a cane.
Show your shit.
I'm trying to show my shit, but you out here crying like a bitch. Exactly. My money's been where my mouth is. But again, you out here crying like a bitch. I was out here when I didn't have no money doing shit for my community. But you out here okaying the abortion of black babies like a little bitch. And that's what I'm talking about. When niggas is out here fighting in the street, nigga, you behind them. Nigga, I'm always the nigga in the front, but you and the nigga in the back. Listen, don't talk to me. Nigga, I ain't the nigga that's around, nigga. You ain't no thing. You ain't no thing. It's always you New York niggas running around talking about who's doing something, nigga. You niggas is not doing nothing, nigga. Listen, you know you a coon. I'm a coon butter. I'm coon butter, nigga. Coon butter with a Q. Imagine being Q butter with a Q. Listen, yeah, a bird ass nigga. I'm a bird ass nigga would smack you in the face, nigga. Tell me, nigga. I'm a bird ass nigga that'll smack you in the face, nigga. Is you gonna come down to my neck of the woods and come talk that, nigga? Or you gonna stand behind 10 niggas?
You ain't got
Come
no
again?
neck of the woods, you bozo ass nigga. I'm being
I ain't got no
honest,
neck of the
man.
woods.
You ain't got no
Cool.
neck
I ain't
of
got
the
no
woods.
neck of the
You
woods,
ain't
so
got
you
no neck
shouldn't
of the
have no
woods, you
problem come
bozo
saying
ass.
that to my
Now you
face,
want
huh?
to get tough. Now I told you to your
Listen,
face. You wouldn't
listen.
even turn your camera
Nigga,
on.
I'll put up
You wouldn't
$5,000 right
even
now.
put
We
your
can get it
camera
on
on.
Hey,
video.
You wouldn't
We can
even
get it
turn
on
your
camera,
camera
my
on.
nigga.
You
You
a
can come see me,
bozo.
nigga.
You
We can
a
do it in the ring.
bozo.
We can do it in the
You a
mat. We can
whole
do it in the
bozo
cage. We can
ass
do it in the
nigga.
street, nigga.
You ain't
I
doing
bet you
shit
I'll
in the
body you.
street. You
I
not
bet you
doing
I'll knock
nothing in
that
the street.
lopsided
You're not
do-rag
doing
off your
nothing
face,
in the
home.
street.
bro.
Nothing.
It's got to
hey,
be in the street, nigga.
Nothing in the street.
It's,
You're not doing
nigga,
nothing
you
in the
not gonna
street.
do nothing in the street, nigga. I'll come out.
Nothing.
Listen, you come see me at Mount Vernon, nigga. I'll come to your neck of the woods.
You said you in Mount Vernon?
You can come see me in Mount Vernon, nigga.
You in Mount Vernon?
You can come see me in Mount Vernon. Are you scared? Is that what I'm hearing? So I offer to fly out to you. Now you got something to say. See, this is the typical New York nonsense,
my
nigga.
address is
You
public,
niggas
brother.
is scary, nigga.
My
I
address
asked you a
is
simple
public,
question, nigga. You
baby.
can come see me, nigga.
Public, baby.
Now you got to be all this extra shit.
Public.
Taz will tell you I'm with the smoke.
You're not with nothing.
Yeah,
You're not even with
Oh,
your
I'm
kids'
not?
education. Why don't
Oh,
you
I'm
talk
not?
about that?
Oh, okay.
You're not even with your kids' education. They ain't
Yeah.
learning about black
Oh,
women.
okay.
They ain't learning about no history.
Y'all, but
You
that
don't
shit
give a
ain't.
fuck about that
Y'all
shit.
doing too
You a
much.
coon. You don't give a fuck about the education. You
You
don't.
still talking?
You don't give a fuck about the
Like
education.
I know we talk our shit, bro, but like, come on, y'all, let's chill with that shit, bro. Like for real.
Taz, tell little nigga, tell little bitty nigga I'm with the smoke.
I don't
You
think
ain't with no
that's
smoke.
where
You a whole
nobody's trying to
bozo
go
ass
off, bro. Ain't nobody
You
trying
can
to
tell that
go
little
off.
nigga I'm with the smoke. I can tell you a
bozo
little
ass
bitty
nigga.
nigga.
So you can't have
I
an
can tell
intellectual
you a little bitty
conversation.
nigga.
Look, all I
Q
said
Butter,
was, yo,
Mr.
listen,
Principal.
since we can have a conversation like that. But the reality is, the shit changed when you tried to call me a coon.
I didn't call you cool, and I very much stated that's no disrespect to you, and I'm not saying that. What I said to you is it sounds like coon logic, but you got in your feelings.
I definitely did, because that's disrespectful.
Hey, nigga, I don't know what to tell you. You hang out with a nigga that call motherfucking bitches and hoes and dumb niggas all day. I don't know what to tell you.
The coon logic wasn't even sent. You see, I could say it sound like coon logic. You put in the criminal tool system. I could say that. You asked me to promote. What do I promote? You type in my name. You gonna see
I answered you, and I began to answer your question. And rather than let me answer the question, you started over here capping, nigga. And that's all day, nigga. Hey, listen, if you want to be on a disrespectful tip, nigga, all you got to do is come square with me. That's it.
When you say promote, when you type my name in,
square up with me. That's all we got to have a conversation with, nigga. We're here now. Listen, we here now. What you want to do? You want to square with me?
My shit public.
I didn't ask you that, nigga. Do you want to come square with me? Yes or no?
Public. Whatever you want to do.
So you want to hide in the house? That's cool. You stupid kid. Stupid kid. I got you, my nigga. Stupid kid. I got you, stupid kid. Listen. Tell you what, I'll come to New York with Tommy. That way you can come up with 10 niggas and hide behind them.
Hey,
1596 St. Mark's Avenue is public. My doors is open.
Hey guys.
I'm gonna hide in the house. I'm gonna call people to help me. I'm Q Butter.
Hey.
Nobody, baby.
Down these soft nigga. They churn me, nigga.
Hey, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it here.
They churn me, nigga.
It's been 3 hours.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Kevin.
They churn me, nigga.
Because
here's
the thing.
Whenever you ready, baby. Bird ass nigga.
Bird ass nigga. I knew you was a professional fighter. Nigga, you got belts and shit. I'm a nigga that wears a do-rag and sits in a house, but bird ass nigga. You might knock me out, but I'm gonna call somebody to help me, nigga.
I ain't gotta call nobody.
You can call everybody, nigga. You was a bitch, nigga.
Hey.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here.
I ain't gotta call nobody, baby. That shit on deck, baby. Whatever.
Thanks to everyone who participated. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for the likes. I would ask for final statements, but I know exactly where those final statements are gonna go.
Nobody.
Q Butter's gonna dance. He gonna tap.
Nobody.
He got them clouds on, nigga. I got cool. I teach niggas how to be cool like me.
Everybody, thanks for showing up. See y'all tomorrow night.
If you want to build in the community,
when your son comes to my school.